my gosh.
Okay, we're live. Okay, what's going on, everybody? This is your boy Scotty, and y'all introduce y'all damn self. I ain't gonna keep you on hold.
Well, since I'm the next one in the square, this is Jamar84,
Oh, it's my
co-host.
turn. Oh wow, that was a whole introduction. Hey, it's Abby Reviews. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing?
Giving you the real tea. What's going on, y'all?
Hey, it's the Catch Me Out. Hey, y'all.
What's up, everybody? It's YB. I'm still trying to get used to my name. I'm trying to get used to my name change, honey. YBNT.TV, honey. Yes, God, honey. Formerly known as Yes
And
Bitch.
tonight, yes, God, yes, bitch, yes, bitch. You know, that's my favorite word, bitch. But we're here tonight for a very special interview. Y'all may know him mostly from About Him. Signal 23 is about him. He's also a star on Triangle, and he was also on G Status and T and El Paso. So let's give a warm welcome to the boy Brandon Carson.
Hi.
Hey, I wish I had like some type of like. I felt like that was a moment. What's up,
Yeah,
y'all?
Hey, Will.
absolutely a moment.
How's it going? How's
And it's
everybody?
actually about him.
Hey,
It's
Brandon, what's
actually
going
about
down?
him.
It really is.
How you
It's
doing,
all
baby?
about you tonight.
I'm doing good. All is well. Money's even better. But things are great.
Amen.
I'm
Come
extremely
on,
blessed.
money.
Yeah,
Hallelujah.
extremely blessed. Extremely.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
look blessed.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hallelujah.
You gotta stay out of people's business and drink water.
Huh. Come on, moisturize. Come
I
on.
shut him up
Hey
all
now,
now.
come
Come on,
on.
good skin.
But what? Okay, so before we get into like the shit that everybody wants to know about, I kind of want to start off with the beginning. Before you
Okay.
even got into G seven. That's the part that I want to start off with, like your acting. Like, how did you really get? How did you get into acting, and what made you want to pursue like acting and being a part of About Him?
Whew. Okay. That's a long story. Y'all ready? Here you go. So, um, growing up, I had a very religious background. Like it was a very religious upbringing. My grandfather was the assistant to the Reverend of a Southern Baptist. From there, I was basically pushed into a lot of different things, from choir to dance, debate, and also to theater. And it all started in church. From there, I went into speech classes, and I learned to debate and did debate classes, and I just did a whole bunch of shit that had a lot to do with wordplay and speaking with people. And I decided to go into communications. At first, I wanted to be an attorney, specifically for divorce, because I feel like divorce attorneys are like a thing, and they are always going to have money, simply because, I mean, everybody's getting married, and everybody's going to, not everybody's going to get a divorce, but it happens. So from there, before going into post-secondary education, I went to high school, and I got into drama there because I was told that I needed some electives to, go ahead and graduate and whatnot. So I took the electives, I went into drama, and I actually fucking liked it. And it just so happened that at the time my brother was also acting, and I ended up following his passions. And he's a huge inspiration to me in my life. So I decided to, dabble in theater even more. Um, and then after that, when I moved to Atlanta, I moved here with intentions and, wanting to just be great and be somebody. And I wanted to entertain the people. My goal has always been to entertain someone, to be completely honest with you, God honest truth. And whether it was on television, whether on a stage, whether it was anywhere, I just really wanted to entertain people, make people smile and make people cry, make people feel something. I feel like that's so prolific, whether it's through music, through a piece of art or through performing arts. I think that is definitely, a thing. So I did a background situation back home here. It really made me want to get into being in front of the camera more. It was a really big MTV project. They were doing a Scream series. I don't know if you guys heard about it or seen it or anything.
Yes,
But
God.
yeah, they did 2 seasons of it. If anybody really paid attention that much, I was kind of saw me here and there. But
I did.
but but it was a fun situation. That was great. And my on camera, there, I didn't really speak or anything, of course, but I just really wanted to be a part of it. Moved to Atlanta. Okay. Moved to Atlanta 5 months in. I ended up booking about him through a website. And the website was called Access. You sign up for free, just pay for the. So basically, when I auditioned for it, I missed the first audition date. It's the first audition. I missed the second audition. And I got an email. Well, I kind of reached out to them because they left the email for them to reach out to them after you missed everything and whatnot, so on and so forth. So I felt so irresponsible back then. It was so bad. That's why it was meant to be, because even with me missing the on-camera audition, I got a chance to send it in, and then I got a call back. And then I missed the first fucking callback. Like, it was a lot. Like, at the time, I was working 2 jobs. I was trying to get my life together. Like, I had just moved in Atlanta. I didn't know anybody. I didn't know any fucking thing. Like, it was just, I was 21 when I moved here. I was 21. I moved here from Louisiana. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and then I had just recently got into my je ne sais quoi and feeling my, my rainbow and like I had just started to get into it, so it's like discovering a lot of things, living here in Atlanta is like, it's a lot of men, it's a lot of women, it's a lot of temptation, it's a lot of beautiful people here. And whether they lie to you and tell you they're doing a lot or they doing a whole bunch, at the end of the day, there's attraction there. And I got lost into that. I got lost in that sauce. And then him popped off. And then more things happened with that. So that's kind of how all that.
That's called grace and mercy.
Yeah. Like I'm very. Yeah.
I remember when I was 19, I moved up to Atlanta, and I know how easy it is to get swept up in the fuckery. The child. Go ahead, honey. Let me get started.
I mean, why not?
Okay.
It's a lot, especially coming from it's a culture shock.
Mm-hmm.
You get enveloped into the life, trade.
But it was almost like I was pushed into it. You know what I'm saying? Like because the thing, like when these shows and everything come out, people want you to push it, and they want you to go, and they need you to go to the clubs. You need to go to the bars. People need to see that you exist. People need to see that you're personable, that you care. Like, there's actually a marketing strategy that goes behind any successful show. So the thing is, it's it's that's basically what my main problem here was. That was trying to adjust.
Showcasing your personality and getting people to know you. Is that why you chose to do a reality show, like non-scripted? Brandon is the person.
Yeah, actually, anybody who knows me knows that I'm a huge reality buff. Anyway, like, that's kind of like my guilty pleasure outside of, a lot of different things that we're not really gonna talk about right now. But I will say that I decided to go into reality because I felt like I had something to say for somebody else. And I felt like I wanted there to be a certain type of gay that a lot of people don't necessarily get to really dive in that realm of reality. I feel like it's been written in a script. I feel like it's been thought about in a concept. I feel like it's been hired to host a competition show, a talk show, so on and so forth. But I don't feel like it's been portrayed effectively in reality television. I mean, for instance, you have a lot of different examples of, LGBTQ representatives in reality TV who are doing a job, and it's just it's not. I'm not here to judge anybody else's work. I mean, we're here to talk about me, but at the end of the day, I mean, it's not the tea.
Speaking of judgments, and I know we're here, really about G status, but speaking of Signal 23, a lot of people have had things to say about Signal 23 and their treatment of their talent.
Yeah.
Pruitt, Trip Ali, just to name a few. Can you, I don't know if you ever spoke about this before, but do you mind sharing your experience with Signal 23?
I'm going to keep it real cute and brief because we're actually on okay terms.
Okay.
I am not here to drag them, so we won't do any dragging. Amen. Okay. So I initially I made the mistake of thinking that this situation was going to become more than that. When I say that, I mean there was a family dynamic that was happening behind the scenes, and took away from the business part of everything. You understand what I'm saying? Like it kind of you know how when you hire a friend or a family member and they start to expect certain treatment and expect certain things, and they don't necessarily feel as though a line should be drawn, so to speak, because the personal overlaps the business after a certain point.
Yeah.
I feel like in my particular situation, we started off on a business, work and magic, and then naturally a personal connection began to build between me and the producer with an
Do you attribute being so young at the time?
Yeah.
You were being involved in everything that you were being so young. I can just imagine how impressionable you probably were at
Right.
that time.
Right. Extremely just young and dumb and just ready for whatever and here to just catch any coin thrown at me. You know what I'm saying? So at that point, it was kind of just like, okay, I really just wanted it to happen. And remember, I had moved to Atlanta to entertain the people. I wanted to be I wanted to be in the cusp of everything. So I made the mistake of letting them in my personal life. I also made the mistake of giving them so much of my time as well too. I quit my side jobs. I quit a lot of things. Well, let me not say that because when you do stuff, you can't have a side job no more. Like what? But at the end of the day, I moved out of the place that I was living at the time, and we stayed practically in the place that we filmed. It was a house that was for one of the cast members, and we ended up building a really, really, really big bond. It was an extremely big bond, and when somebody got their feelings hurt, they wanted to take it out on the business and start pulling plugs and start closing and start locking them.
Blackballing, so to speak.
In a way. So basically, I found out about the second season of About Him and me not being a part of it. I was just scrolling on Instagram and saw a new cast picture.
Because I didn't watch the second season because I was like, child, if you ain't in it, there's no point.
Yeah.
The unprofessionalism of it all.
You know what I'm saying? Like that was my problem. And for me to have, now, mind you, I'm still young, still trying to understand things. I'm still trying to understand the city. I'm still trying to understand people. By this time, like a year has went past. The show has become a thing. Friends from back home have cut me off because they feel like I'm doing porn. I don't know how to explain it to my parents.
Nothing wrong with that.
Told me to drop my last name. Like it was just a lot of stuff. Like my government name is actually Jordan. I still have it, but Karson came out the day he asked me to drop it because he felt like I was being disrespectful by doing About Him because somebody told him about it from the church. So on Facebook, they saw previews of it and basically looked at it as porn. So that became a whole thing. It happened like while we were filming. That was extremely dramatic. It was very dramatic. I had to stop filming. We talked for like 5 minutes on the phone. It was a lot. It was a whole lot. But yeah, like they knew that. They knew all of this stuff. And then for me to find out that I was being replaced on Instagram, it's just crazy because even in a actual professional setting, any production company, if you're smart, is going to do anything to cover their ass when it comes to hiring and firing people, especially on the firing. Am I right or am I wrong?
You're right.
Yeah.
So when you do that, you have a liaison. In order for you to do that, you have to have between you and your talent to make the tops of certain situations, especially when I'm the lead in a project that grossed in about $500,000 on the first season, based off of pure video.
I believe it. Because let me tell you something, that bathroom, let me tell you, the front bitch.
You know what I'm saying? So from there, it ended up being a situation where it was like, okay, maybe I should just go ahead and put out a letter and, you know, just let people know, okay, I'm done. I'm kind of just done with the situation. And I put out
I'm sorry to cut you off, but this goes to show a little bit of the shady business practices that are being alleged by other talent, you know, by some of the people that I said before. So although you guys are good, you can attest and say that you have experienced some kind of shady deals with Signal 23.
I definitely have from quite a few companies, to be specifically honest. I mean, they're not the only people out here like doing.
I don't want to just pinpoint them because I've been in the business too. The business is shady.
Yeah, it's just shady.
It's as a whole, it's shady.
Oh yeah, I get it.
If your eyes aren't open, if your ears aren't open, if your eyes aren't dotted, if your T's aren't crossed.
The reason why I'm targeting Signal 23 is obviously they're the ones that are in the forefront of Black gay situations. And they were the first ones to kind of do the whole kind of, you know, web series, you know, kind of situation when it comes to like the real deep sexual nature of everything. So my problem with them is it seems as if multiple people have come forward to just say that they do this a lot to young Black gay dudes, trying to lure them in. Again, allegedly, because I don't know this to be true. I'm just speaking on the heels of other people's experiences. But again, I don't want to go that deep into this because this is not, you know, what this is about. But I just wanted to, you know, see what your experience was with them.
To put a nail in that coffin, I will say two things. First, Signal 23 television. I've always been grateful for that opportunity. Period. Because if it wasn't for that, we wouldn't be having this conversation today. And that's that. Two, we weren't the first ones to do it. We were the first ones to take a sex scene and blow it up just a little bit. But when it comes to a web series, Ballroom Throwback television with Triangle, they came out of the gate swinging. They did what needed to be done to open a door for all of us. And I'm extremely proud of that. So that's there we go. So we're gonna go ahead.
Learn your lesson? Did you learn what needed to be learned from that lesson?
Most definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, most definitely.
Was your character that much far removed from who you really were at the time?
Yes. I was a prude filming that whole show. Like an absolute prude. I was not curious, bitch. I didn't want anything to do with anybody I was filming with. I was just like, I just wasn't really feeling it. I like in the beginning stages, I had to get drunk for sex scenes. We would do like for every week we would take 2 days out of that week to do nothing but just like the sex scenes because I was that much so uncomfortable with it. Like it was like, let's get it over with. I don't want nobody on the set. Let's just get it done, get it over.
Do you still have relationships with cast members from that show?
I talked to Gary.
Okay.
I speak with Rika. I speak with that's it.
The two main people you were filming with.
That's enough.
Okay, well, since we brought up Triangle, because I know that you're on there now, partially why I started back looking at it. But how did you get into Triangle?
Well,
I was watching them too before about him.
Yeah, this is a story. So basically, they reached out to me while I was filming about him, and I very naive. I was kind of just, I was very excited about it, so I had opened up and talked about it, and the producers at the time were like, no, you're not doing that. You won't be working with him. That's not happening. Your loyalty is to us. Blah 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 blah. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. So not gonna do it. It's perfectly fine. Then the shit hit the fan, and I was ready to work, and I wanted to work with Caesar Williams, who is the CEO, one of the CEOs of Barroom Throwbacks, and I ended up reaching back out. He ended up responding back to me like instantly, and then on my audition, and there you have it. I started on the spinoff show, and then I went into the regular season. Well, the regular series, I should say.
Okay. I was wondering how you got into that because Triangle is a good show.
Yeah.
I may have fallen off of it for a couple of years because the seasons are so damn long.
Yeah.
But it was a great, it is a good show.
It's a really good show. Yeah, and it's a family dynamic on set. It's always good times. It's always laughs. There's nothing that's been shady that's ever happened. They handle business effectively and proficiently, and I love working with them. Absolutely, positively. I got nothing but love for them.
It's interesting that you mentioned how much of a prude you say you were for the sex scenes, because when we watch it, whoever edits these things are very good at what they do.
Yeah.
They make everybody involved like this is just a moment. I'm attracted to everybody in this room. Like, we're gonna probably end up fucking after this is over. Like, that's the kind of tea. Sex scenes. Like, damn, are they gonna be fucking for real? Because I can't do what y'all be doing and not have some sort of attachment afterward. Like, we was just real invasive just now. Like,
I will say, even though I was a prude during the time it was happening, now it has definitely opened my eyes up to a whole bunch of things sexually. Like, I've opened the door, the floodgate to the church child. It's just,
because let me tell you, when I saw
things.
you in what's it, the character that played your love interest, I was like, I was so attached to those characters. I was like, I want y'all to be together for real, bitch. I want you to get your man money and say it.
But that's always a good thing, though. I love that so much because we get a chance to meet some great people. I remember when we toured the finale episode, it was so fun to meet so many people who connected to the damn show. Like, we was just like, we did the show out on a whim. Like, it was kind of just, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And it ended up really, really working. And it was crazy. Like, it would be moments where I just cried. Like, it was just so much. It was very, very much.
It was very emotional, especially those like scenes when you guys were child. I was like, ooh, touching my pearls if I had any, honey. Let me tell you.
I mean, it was great. That's the one time I did get to finally see everybody. It was like you, Rico, and Gary were all. This was the Houston stop. You may remember the Houston stop for other reasons, but yeah. But we had a great time at the actual finale tape.
We really did. It was a great time. It was such a great time. It was actually pretty iconic. But Beyonce said herself, with a lot of positivity comes a lot of backlash. So it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be haters. It's gonna be a lot of crazy stuff. People get mad and upset and want to fight you because they like it.
But how many people hopped in the DM afterwards?
I mean, I don't know if we all do. It's 7 of us, right? Yeah, we don't.
Mm-hmm.
You're breaking up, baby. I couldn't hear you.
Can you hear me?
What is that?
Can you hear me now?
You were breaking up. We couldn't hear you.
Yeah.
Oh, I was saying that that's a lot of hands to count on. A lot of people in DM.
Child.
Oh,
yeah.
Like individual people, not like a same person multiple times.
Child, I'm already hot.
Individual people.
And what is the ratio to fuckable to not fuckable? No, I'm joking.
Oh, really?
Did you accept any of the proposals?
I have.
Yes, God. Keep it real. I know that's right.
Yeah, I
They
definitely
got
have.
people, and they not one.
Right. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I've accepted probably one too many, but
Let me ask you this question, since we're on that topic. Do you feel like doing shows like that kind of made you more sexualized, with people not like a respect factor to you, or just they look at you as like that character? They feel like they can just run up on you with the fuck shit.
most definitely. I have actually seen other penises more than I've seen my own at this point.
Wow.
Like it's actually pretty ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Like I mean, it's quite comical. I will say that, but it's a lot. Like it can be a lot sometimes, and especially with me dabbling into OnlyFans now, it's like an overkill right now. But it makes it hard for me. I will say that.
There's a question in here because I honestly didn't know anything about this. So since you are open book and you say you don't mind us asking anything, it's because that's what they want me to ask. Someone said, let me highlight it so you can see it. But someone said, did did y'all ask him why him and Trip Ali got into it and canceled the talk show?
I was running my mouth, and I spoke to the wrong people. And at the time, Trip had did a really, really racy scene, and I think it was really, really racy, and it was like a minute
Was
and a
that
half.
the one in the jail cell when he was
Yeah,
getting
so I spoke on it because I was like, he didn't like warn me that this was about to happen. Like we're doing a show now, so like now I can kind of combat whatever comes at us. And I'm like, ooh, I hope it goes over well. So, I was being a big mouth at the time. Like I said, I was young. I'm not a perfect person. That was a flaw of mine at that time. I opened my mouth, and he got upset about it. And instead of confronting me off camera, he confronted me while we were on air, on camera. And I decided to leave the show because I felt like that was unprofessional. But it is what it is. I mean, I can't fault him for feeling the way that he felt because I brought those feelings to him. So that was that on that, And I apologize. We've spoken about it. It's cool. Like we're not like friends. It's not like we talk every day type of. I told you who I talked to, but Trip is cool. God bless him.
I'm here for it.
Well.
Okay, well I guess we can go into the tea now, since we got the acting stuff out the way. And your background.
Right. Before we leave acting, where do you want to take your career? Like, do you want to keep doing stuff like or like what's your dream role? Like, what do you want to do?
Yeah, my dream role, I'm gonna say my dream role in life is to create roles for other people.
Okay.
I really want to create a coalition of creators who write and develop shows, projects, plays, who put together events, who coordinate different award shows and so on and so forth, and really build a completely huge conglomerate of amazing creative people who get shit done and who love the art, who love events, who love to just make people happy and entertain the people. That's what I want to do. I want to continue the people. I also have my own talk show. No matter the platform, whether it's a podcast, whether it's a television situation, I definitely want to be able to vocalize my thoughts and feelings on things because I feel like my voice is pretty great and it can speak for a lot of people. And I feel like I have spoken for a lot of people, and I feel like I'm more than capable to take that torch and run with it and completely this LGBTQ world upside down and create something fucking amazing. Get these people entertained, get these people loving on themselves, get them people loving on people who love them.
The idea alone is amazing. So let me just say that the fact that you have this idea, that's amazing. So one of the
Agreed.
And I also feel like he can. I feel like he can do it simply because off his. I feel off his name alone, he can do it. I mean,
Absolutely.
people like him, people embrace him. I feel like he can definitely do it.
Yeah,
I'm
I think
with
the only thing
got-
you have to worry
like,
about is the egos, because with them gay folks, you gotta
We can do all things.
that, you know, we're all chiefs and we're all Indians. We can all learn from everyone, and we can all be bosses in our own way.
Exactly.
And
I
we
don't
can
think.
do all things through Christ that strengthens us.
Yeah, you know, let's get out of the crab and barrel mentality. Let's work with each other, not against each other. It's enough out there for everybody to go get it. It really is.
You gotta speak it.
Okay, so how did you get into G status?
So there was shall I say scutterbutt of of the second season, like them casting for the second season, and I saw it come across my feed a few times on Instagram, and I was like, "Oh, this is cute." So, I actually had went to the premiere of the first season. I was supporting my colleague at the time, associate at the time. I'm not going to use that loosely. I'm going to use it extremely tightly, and then we're going to throw it in the trash right along with the person as soon as we get into it.
Okay.
So
All right.
He invited me to the premiere. I came to the premiere. I saw it, and I was
underwhelmed. No, okay.
puzzled. I was a little puzzled. I didn't understand what to get. We get into the first few moments of the show, and it just becomes like this reading thing between two people that you don't know any. Like, it's the first season of a show. Is that what we want to get across? First 10 minutes of the show, because the conversation lasted that long. I didn't really understand why it started off so like, well, bitch, you a hoe. Oh, okay. Well, bitch, you broke. Like, it's like, okay, so that's how all conversations kind of start off. Like, I don't understand. I didn't understand. But nonetheless, second season came around. And I spoke to someone about doing it because they asked me if I would.
Okay.
And my friend, who is also my roommate, Michael, who's Hey Mikey, he and I sat down and had a conversation. And we was like, you know what? We could really go in this situation and try to like change it up, switch it up, so on and so forth. Because it was a lot of bad backlash that they was getting from the first season. So it was like, we watched it and it was like, oh, this is bad. Like, let's just go in and try to flush out the shit, you know. So like, let's do that, right? So I forgot about it. It was like this in-person situation. Like, no, at first you sent the video and then they contacted you afterwards. So I forgot about it. And they reached out to me. When they reached out, they were like, hey, are you still gonna be get on the show? Like, are you still gonna submit your information? So I was like, you know, maybe, you know, I'll do it. I'll think about it, so on and so forth. I mean, I have a lot going on, but I want to be able to commit a specific amount of time to the show and be able to be available. Because at the time I was pretty busy with Triangle. Like, it had been a time, like, when I was working on Triangle, at that time, it was like twice a month, because I'm in Atlanta and I have to fly out to Pennsylvania to film Triangle. So they fly me out. They take care of all of that, but it's like my schedule at that time with Triangle was very hectic. So I didn't want to like promise or allocate any time that I didn't have to give them to like film. I didn't want them to like, you know, Marlo me or Tanya me. You know, I didn't want it to be a situation off to the side. Like this bitch.
That reference.
happened. And then come to find out after the shit, they ended up editing it exactly how I thought they would do me in the beginning. So whatever. But I ended up sending off my information and it never got to them. So since they never got it, it was like, we never got the email or anything, but we want you to come out at this time, so on and so forth, XYZ, blah, blah, blah. I met them in person. We talked about being paid. We talked about the pay, but the pay itself wasn't in the contract.
Because she wasn't trying to pay you.
The payment was not in the contract?
That's a problem. That is a problem.
Because they wasn't trying to give you no money. Okay.
Right.
So, yeah, that's what that was. But I signed a non-disclosure with them. So it's certain things that I can answer, it's other things that I can't really answer because I'm happy of the non-disclosure. And I mean, even though certain things happened and played out and everything, I'm not going to court behind no bitches who don't have.
Yeah, I understand.
Let me ask you this question, and I know I'm probably jumping ahead of myself, but one thing I pointed out in my review was the disrespect at the end of the last episode where they put "You can catch Brand on his OnlyFans." Yeah. How did you take that?
Yeah,
okay.
I didn't like that.
Initially, my feelings were hurt, and the reason why my feelings were hurt were because it was yet again another situation years later where I've trusted a production company with my life and with presenting me well and with just trusting them in general. You know what I'm saying? Especially given my situation that I had with a whole nother production company in the same fucking city. So it really got into a place emotionally for me where I was like, fuck, like working here is gonna just be a hassle. Like, is it gonna be a hassle for every production company? Like, you try to work with these independent LGBTQ production companies and they turn around, and as soon as you don't jump when they say jump, it's like they tear you down and they make it seem like you're nothing and you're trash and you know, you're just scum, you know, and to slight me by going at an OnlyFans page. Like, first of all, I'm very thankful at the fact that they did that because I mean, it boosted.
I was just about to say, didn't your subscriptions go up?
They definitely did.
Because people didn't even know you had one.
But at this point,
wanted attention to that.
At this point, it's slightly compensating for the money they were supposed to pay me. So I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, it is what it is. I'm not really upset about that. What I'm upset about is the principality of it and the fact that it can happen to someone else. You know what I'm saying? Like, because
you have so much more going on than OnlyFans. Like, you have they could have said catch him on the North Arc.
They could have just said.
But the thing is, they knew. But they know these things. The reality is this. Okay, we gonna go ahead and cut the bullshit. Ja, who is one of the executive producers of the show, like he wanted to be in acting. He was trying to have an acting career. You know, he wanted to, you know, be an actor. You know, and he wanted to get things popping as an actor. He said himself that he wanted my story specifically to be a part of the show and for me to be on the main cast.
Well, we did see you in the original trailer though from last year.
We don't see him turn
because
around.
If you remember,
I missed it.
I was definitely there. I was definitely a part of the situation, right? But as soon as I started asking questions,
when you come home, is he spinning around in the chair?
No, in the original trailer from last year, he was in the trailer.
But by that time, I had quit the show. Like, by the time the show actually happened, I had quit the show in the middle of the initial part of filming. They stopped filming officially in December. They started filming like back in May of last year. And then like cut two, they had to go all the way back, and filming wasn't supposed to be as long as it was. But because I left the show, and because a few other people and other components of the show left the show, they had to continue to film other stuff and fill in gaps. That's what happened.
the only one that's going.
That's not. No, I'm not. So the thing is, it's just it kind of happened that way and it played out that way. But that's how it came about. They reached back out to me. I went to meetings and everything, and then we got started. And I told them verbatim, I did not want to be in a sluggish, dirty, low down situation. Like I just did not want to be a part of no bullshit like that on the production side. I knew that there were going to be cast members who were going to try me because look at me. But at the end of the day, I felt like I did not want to be tried on the production side because I just didn't want I didn't want that type of strife with them. Y'all know, like I didn't want that with them. Like I was saving all of that for, you know, ammunition for these other bitches. You know what I'm saying? Because I knew what time it was. I knew what time. So yeah.
I do have a question though, and one of the things I mentioned in my review was your interaction with everyone in the first couple episodes that we see. Do you find it hard to just pull someone to the side and tell them how you're really feeling? Because it seems like Devon and Delicious kind of
Yeah, it seemed like you didn't want to talk about that, and Devon kind of forced you into talking about that. Like if you wasn't comfortable, I would have been like, "Nah, bitch, I don't want to talk about that right now." Like it just seemed like he was speaking for you, and I didn't like that because you can speak for yourself, obviously.
I feel like I got lost in the moment, to be completely honest with you. I got lost in the fact that it had gotten to a point where I was stepping to the side and everything. And then as Devon was speaking for me, I think a switch happened. I feel like Devon
was instigating.
But I felt like Devon was wanting to be a part of. I feel like Devon wants a little piece of everybody's situation.
It comes,
you know, I feel like he wants to have some sort of something in everybody's situation. Reason being, I just feel like with him being on a different show now and it being, you know, him being a part of things, I just feel like he needs to sprinkle salt here, seasoning there, sprinkle stuff there. Ooh, well, you know, he said this here, or well, I was actually there when you said X, Y, Z. So, and then it gives him like these cutoff edits to him being able to vocalize his viewpoint on a situation that has nothing to do with him. However, he's entertainment. So to put him in there and to have him vocalize his thought process and everything brings the show along. It gives the show a little bit more fluff. I understand that because we get it. Like we've seen it before. It's almost kind of like the same equation. Like,
yeah, he's the ball carrier. He's the charade.
Yeah. So I mean, at the end of the day, when it was like, okay, well, I mean, now that this is happening and now that this is going on, so let's get right into it. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to it being a thing now. I also wanted to give off that I didn't want to have any conflict with anybody, and I wanted that specific conversation and that specific altercation to turn my personality into cool and chill and not wanting to be in drama to turn up when it comes to the drama, but only one-on-one. Because the thing is, if you notice on these types of shows specifically, when people have an audience, they like to turn up because you already have. So if
you
had
to, was flustered, it was hot.
Yeah, like if me and you, and if we going back and forth, I mean, at the end of the day, that you can hear all the reads, you can catch all the shade, like you can really get into the moment. It creates for a really good head-to-head type of situation. Like, you know, if we're gonna create a show based on drama, like actual drama, and really build this show to something that should be absolutely amazing, great, and really create some great ass shit, then let's create some great ass shit. We don't have a script. Yeah. Let's create some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, why are we? What are we doing?
Right.
Okay. So here's my question: what exactly is it that you said, and or about, or that caused the issue between you and Sherrod and you and Rashad? Because it seems like whatever it is that you said rubbed the both of them wrong in the same way. So what exactly is it that you said that got them in a dander?
Okay, so
can I ask something about the Devon situation before we get into that? So overall, were you offended by the CPK coming or no?
Profusely.
He not said anything. Were you offended by it?
Only because when I met our guy when he was doing Mama D's makeup for about Justin when she was playing his mother.
Mhm.
And I met him on that set. We had a good conversation. He was very sweet. He was very nice. Then I saw him again when I was working at California Pizza Kitchen at Lenox Square. And he worked at Aveda. He worked there, or he was going to school there. I don't know what was going on, but he had worked at Aveda. He worked right above me. He did a couple times. Then we bumped into each other again when he was working at Dillard's in Atlantic Station, and I was working at the Atlantic Station location, South California Pizza Kitchen. He and Charlie came in and had lunch there. They came in. They were very nice. It was really sweet, and that was that whole situation. However, they didn't necessarily, like, I was tipped. Our guy tips nicely. But at the end of the day, you know, that's what that was. It was very much so a rude situation when that happened. When they decided to get on the show and like snicker and kiki about it. Like, girl, first of all, understand that the first time I met you, like, we were on the same situation. And if you really want to go there, girl, you on break. Your job over here where you are trying to sit here and figure out if there's a 9.5 in stock in motherfucking Nashville. Like, let's not act like that's not the case. We both worked as the help. I worked with food. You worked with clients.
Well,
Yeah, sure.
Well, there's
And
that.
fine. Like, we not because what I was pissed off at, first of all, the people on the show make it seem like this is their job.
but it's supposed to be about you promoting
Highlighting your job.
Your job's
Yes.
an S. It's called G status hustle. Like, it's a hustle. Like,
Yeah.
are we not supposed to have several jobs going on? I thought that was the premise of the show.
Mhm.
Like, I just
Hello.
don't understand. Like, I didn't understand how this became such like a thing of like it being like a whole
Me
like,
too.
oh, well, the only reason why we know him is because of this. And like, girl, please.
Everybody
Because
works.
we can sit here and talk about how we know Charlie. We can sit here and talk about how we know Charlie. I mean, we know him for his music, and we know him for other things in Atlanta. But I'm not. We're not sitting here speaking about it. I'm not the one.
What other things?
And
What
talk
other
about
things
how
do we
we
know
know
him
him
for?
for.
No. What other things do we know him for? But I don't.
I mean,
Lisa, what happened?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I've heard quite a few times that he scammed a couple of people, and that's the thing. Like, that's fine. Like, at the end of the day, that's fine if that's your thing. If that's what you're doing, that's what you're doing. But don't try to come at my jugular when I'm not even coming
Not the scam.
around the mountain when she comes. Like, I'm not even on your radar. Like, we're not even on the same page. You're doing a totally different thing. And the thing is, to say you didn't know me, you knew me the first season when you was reaching out to me to promote your music. I was just confused. It just confused me and my homegirl because we felt like, well, damn, you know what I'm saying? Like,
It's upset me and my homegirl because if we can't get into Bella Noche.
it just didn't make sense to us because it just didn't make sense, y'all. The people of the church, it didn't make sense, and we were all in agreement. And it was like, now all of a sudden, I'm the issue. Like, I'm the problem. I'm the one that got a chip on his shoulder. I feel like I'm better than everybody. Okay, girl, that's fine. I'll take it. It is what it is. Whatever. But that's that on that whole situation. That's why I had such a problem. That's why I had such a problem with Charlie, because everybody was making it seem like it just came out of nowhere. To answer your questions about Sherrod and Rashad, what had happened with Sherrod has always tried to be close to me in some aspect as it pertains to work or being in my circle of people, knowing who I know or whatever. I'm no Beyonce, I'm no Taraji, I'm no Denzel or anything of the sort, but I know some damn body. So with that being said, he just wanted to be around. I felt like he never wanted to truly be a friend of mine. I felt like he only wanted what I could potentially give to him.
Mm-hmm.
As it pertains to Rashad, that's just a simple case of he was just upset because it just didn't work out.
The question I have pertaining to that is what was done to make you feel that way from him?
Who's that?
To Sherrod.
Oh, yeah.
Was there something that transpired with your dynamic of your relationship with him to make you feel like?
Yeah. Every time I was around him, he made it. very apparent that we should take a picture together. We should be seen together. There should be a thing together. Like, it was very, very big on that. And that was a red flag for me. Also, every time we spoke about something, it was always about my body, how I look good, how I work out, my physical appearance, how I dress. It was always about my looks, very much so surface. So I didn't necessarily look at him as anybody who I could ever potentially get close with, because our conversations were always surface. But then they would always change. I'm sorry, y'all, my roommate home, but did he fall?
Okay.
Oh no.
Okay, so yeah, and that's why I felt like he switched up so much, because now all of a sudden it's like, as soon as he found out I was going to be a part of the show, now I'm an enemy. And I have a problem.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this: when we did a laugh with Ebby, I want to say it was last week sometime, and he came on because I wanted to know exactly what it is that you did so wrong for him. And the story that he gave us was, to him, you made it seem like you didn't want to be around him because he did porn, and you know what you got going on don't equal to what he has going on, and therefore you don't want to be around him, and this, that, and this. So that was the story that he gave us.
Yeah, that's fine. He can go with that. That's cool. I just felt like it's
But
at the time I did not want to film with him. At the time I felt like he was putting out one thing, saying something else, and I just didn't necessarily understand where he was going. There was a sense of uncertainty with him. Hence why I said that there was, little droplets of, schizophrenia. I just felt like at points he just kind of switched up. Like it was just like a switch up of things. I felt like it was a switch up of things. I'm not being, funny or anything. I just felt like that it was just a switch up of things. I'm not upset with him. I don't have no beef with him. I just don't see it for him. It's simple. That's fine. It's okay. And apparently they don't see it for me either. And I'm okay not to be seen, girl. It's cool. Like I'm fine with that. I'm fine.
Yeah, because we were all confused. Like, why don't nobody deal with him? Like, what is the problem? What did he do to people? And to me, it did make it look like there could have been a little bit of hate there. That's the way I took it. Now they'll say otherwise, but that's the way I took it.
I walked in the room and hose man. Like that's what happened. That's what usually happens. It just happens, and it's not, I'm not cocky. I'm very confident in myself, and I know my effect. I know the tea. And I think that's the problem, because a lot of people on the show don't know they don't know their effect on people. Because if they did, they wouldn't be such mean ass people. I've never met so many people who come, well, you work here, okay, well, you do this for a living and you do that. Okay. As we sit here on the same platform trying to get the same recognition,
right,
as we're sitting here hustling, doing stuff, if anything, I'm not gonna clown you because you just so happen to, listen, if you out here selling pussy and if you're doing what you got to do to get stuff done, do what you got to do to get stuff done. I know I have done things to get stuff taken care of. We don't necessarily have to go into that, but I feel like everybody on this goddamn screen has. Whether you question your morals or anything, to do certain stuff to get where you want to be. Sometimes you don't want to talk to them, but you know that it's a door to get somewhere you want to be. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you don't want to bust it open, but you understand that you need rent paid. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, at the end of the day, it is what it is. And to judge people for this, it's just baffling to me.
It really don't even matter whether it's
California, really doesn't.
OnlyFans, Nordstrom, Walmart dealers. All that money is gonna spend the same. So it really doesn't matter.
Our company don't care.
Did I say your whoever you rent or purchase or your mortgage people, they don't care where you work at as long as you give them their money?
As long as that check clear on the first.
They'll give them if you at McDonald's or busting it wide open, they just want their fucking money.
On the first.
The crazy thing is,
let me speak on this with the Shiraz situation, then we can be done with her. I just feel like I will be honest and say this. I can understand how he could be frustrated with me given what I've gotten into now and what I'm doing now. Because of how he feels about me not wanting to do projects with him because of what he was doing at that time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I completely understand his frustration. However, to carry and to not try to at least reach out to me and see what's going on, you know what I'm saying? To have such a chip on your shoulder with me and for me, it's just a bit of a reach. And it began to be something that was extremely problematic, very left wing of him to do, and very stupid, because I'm not the one to do that with. Like, I don't have time for that. I'm wearing a watch, but I don't have time for that. I just don't.
So here's my wait.
That whole dynasty was strange because I'm like, they brought him on here. This is the first time we get to see him was his dinner scene in the season. And when he introduced himself, they put out his last name. They tried to refer to him as like Brandon K a couple of times. And I'm like, why are they pretending like we don't know who this man, like he has to bleep his name, like we don't know who that man is. Like, oh, let's bleep his name out so he doesn't get any exposure, but let's also tell him to go subscribe to his OnlyFans. So I'm like, I was confused.
They were being shady.
But they didn't even put the OnlyFans link up there. They just said,
I mean, at least bring the people all the way into the doors of the church. Like, don't just bring them to the parking lot, you know?
Exactly.
The kids will find it.
Okay, Inspector Gadget. I know y'all gonna find it, but it would have just been lovely if you put the damn link in. Here's my next question. So why did you? I don't know if you allowed, because it's editing. So why did you allow for what's the baby's name, Devon, to pull y'all into that confrontation? Why didn't you just say, no, we don't need to speak? Like, you were just getting the information. They didn't even give you, it looked like they didn't even give you time to process what was being said to you before Devon was eavesdropping in on your conversation, which my first thing would have been, can you mind your business, bitch? Nobody was talking to you. But then he pulls y'all into this confrontation. I just don't understand why.
Let me tell you what was going on. I'm gonna tell you what was going on behind the scenes. At the time, Devon and I were building a friendship. And the first time I had met him, we had filmed a scene that didn't make it to the show because I left the show. And it basically seemed like myself and another person who left the show brought him into the fold to have the conversation about what happened at the hibachi situation, right? So push came to shove, and we started to, text and get to know each other and everything. And it started to really become like this camaraderie type of situation. The same thing was happening with Delicious, but I had known Delicious for a few years. So with that being said, can you bring me your extension cord?
Yes.
Okay. With that being said, from there, in that moment, I felt like this was a friend coming to tell me, okay, well, just come and bring it out to I felt like these were my friends coming to tell me what was going on. I don't mean the air quotes with Delicious. I mean the air quotes with him.
Okay.
Because Delicious is a very, very sweet human being. Our situation is very much so interesting, but we love each other. We have a deep respect for one another, and that's that on that. And can't nobody tell me nothing about it. But with that being said, that's kind of why I let that kind of happen the way that it did.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And being that you said that about Delicious and that's your homie and can't nobody say nothing to you. So is she a lot? So are you of the same mind as your other former cast member, Joy Simber, that she's a nigga so she can say the word nigga? Because that's what I heard. And she sees real free with the word around she said it around that whole table and ain't nobody say nothing to her. So are you okay
with that
her using the word?
I'm gonna be honest with you, girl. I'm gonna go ahead and just be completely honest with you. As soon as I get my life fast, because the camera's better here. Okay. you want me to be completely honest, I wasn't really thinking about it in the moment. In the moment, I was in my shit. So like at this point, people were telling me things about me that wasn't fucking true. Things was well, it was true, but it was messy, and I felt like it was time to get in read mode. You know, so mentally, I was kind of like not in the place of being like, wait a minute, bitch, what you said? Like it was kind of more so of like, okay, well, I gotta check these girls. I'm not worried about her saying nigga right now. Like that's not where my mind was. Now, do I believe that she should have said it in the moment? Hell no. Like at the end of the day, if I was much more aware of what was going on, I mean, of course I would have checked her behind it and been like, okay, now girl. Or I would have like just checked her on the side. Because sometimes you gotta ride it out for your friend and let her go. You know, for your friend, for your spouse, for anybody who's your partner, right? You gotta, just ride it out for them until whenever, and then once y'all get to the car, it's kind of like, I bet you was wrong, right? But so it's like it's very much that. But I'm absolutely against her saying it around all of these people. But I also feel like people are hypersensitive right now too.
True.
Extremely sensitive. And excuse me.
Please, okay. While I agree, some people are hypersensitive. I
feel like it was bad timing.
Let me just speak for. I've been sensitive about this word for more than 30, 40. I'm 43. When did I beat that white girl up? I was in middle school. I was like 13 or 12, 13 or so. So I've been very sensitive about that word since a person has used that word against me and then tried to spit on me. So yeah. That's the only time I ever got suspended from school. I tried to break that bitch's head off of her neck. Listen,
as you should have.
Amen.
Okay.
So for some of us, it's more touchy of a subject than others. And now that you've explained that, I really was in a mode and I didn't really. But here's another question. I feel like I'm monopolizing all the time.
No, I want to say this. I am a very black, very gay man. And anybody who comes against my people or disrespects any one of us and needs to have that ass tapped in any sort of way, whether it's verbally, physically, or whatever, due to ramifications of what they've said, it's a problem. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that shall be done. Now, I'm not in agreement with that shit at all. Like, I don't think that it was cool at all for her to say nigga at all. I'm just saying, like, and that give me for not reprimanding her.
How do you feel about people utilizing the word in context, though? The way she used
the context, I don't care. She can't use it.
But the way
me being a black man,
the way that she used it was in a rap. It wasn't directed or meant to be derogatory.
I just feel like the umbrella statement is if you are not of African American descent, just don't use it.
But let me ask this question though. If historically the word is negative, it means you are ignorant.
Okay.
It means that you are the word means it's very demeaning. So I don't care how you modify the word. Why should we take power and stock in utilizing the word then?
Right.
If it's so negative. Right. There's nothing endearing about being called a nigga. That means that our culture has been social conditioned to adhere to that. Yes, definitely.
No, I get what you're saying, but I don't want to go down this road with all of us anymore. Brandon, what do you?
Yeah, me neither. That's a sensitive topic.
It is.
I do. Well, listen, Brandon, because somebody in the chat brought this up, and it is a good question. I don't know if we talked about it or not. But how did you feel watching the scene with Roman showing the video of you dancing on stage? How did that make you feel?
And how much money did you make that night?
$350, and I think that is really funny because we've all seen his videos. All of us have. Like it, and I think that I thought it was cute to try to take the heat off of him and put it on me. Anything to make me look bad, man. Anything to make me look bad. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's anything to make me look bad. I spoke about dancing I spoke about escorting. I spoke about all of this stuff. I've done a lot of different things to make sure I was fine. Honey, I've been homeless before. I've been broke before. And I'm not like it's just not happening. And for him to have a conversation about, how much I supposedly made from the whole about him situation and all this stuff. Why do you care so much? Why do you care so much? If I don't, I'm so confused because I thought we had apologized to each other and everything at this whole dinner, only for me to find out that he's sitting here having these key conversations with Sherrod and then going, and it's just a reach. Like it's so much of a reach because in all reality, like the only reason why we even have beef was because of a misunderstanding that happened on social media that turned into another misunderstanding that happened in his bedroom.
I think
Hold on.
If y'all want to go there, let's go there. At the end of the day,
y'all messy. Y'all want to know all the fucking thing. Y'all messy asses. Y'all want to know everything.
At the end of the day, it's just no. I'm gonna just keep it real because the people have tried to rake me through the coals. Like it's like I'm, some regular bitch. Like it's at the end of the day, he got turned down. Like that's what it was. And for him trying to make it seem like it was anything more than that, everybody knows. I have the text messages. Like, what are we talking about at this point? He blocked me. He did all of this crazy ass shit. He made it seem like it was this whole thing. And it wasn't. And the same shit is going, man, y'all just keep watching the show, y'all. Girl, that was God telling me to be quiet. What else?
Well, here's the devil saying, keep talking. Oh, what? Listen.
Or another drink.
Wait. So, okay. All right. So let me get some clarity. Let me get some clarity because I've had a few sips of this Jack Daniels. So let me get some clarity.
Yeah.
So Rashad / Roman / whatever the other names that he currently goes by had an issue.
Reach.
Oh,
reach.
We reaching for him? Okay. So he had an issue with you dancing, even because he used to strip and he felt some type of way about
doesn't strip. The thing is, he had an OnlyFans. He was like a Just for Fans or something. Like he had been doing that. Like it would that had been a thing for him. You know what I'm saying? Like he's kind of like a vet in that, situation. Like he had been he had did. Yeah. So like we're not gonna act like that wasn't the case, like that wasn't the thing. Like that's that. Like girl, please stop. Like just stop trying to diminish other people. Like other people don't know what the fuck you got going on.
Right. Scotty,
it's stupid.
I'm with that.
It's hypocritical. It doesn't make sense. You set yourself up for people to go and dig up stuff and be like, oh, you came from me? Oh, girl, hold on. Fuck that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't have to have that type of energy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't have to be that way.
Can you say something? Shan Renee is only here for you, so she wants you to speak.
Hey, Shan.
Yeah.
It's Shan Renee.
There you go, boo.
Oh, dear God.
Hey, love. It's nice to meet you.
Oh my God.
Okay. So, in the infamous words of Gerard, Roman wanted a taste and he didn't get it, and now he mad.
That's basically what's going on.
Okay. All right. Well, Jesus.
I mean, we taste. It was things happened, but it didn't happen.
Okay.
You know what? This is my overall problem with the gay community. It's like, girl, why do we got to do so much and so extra? Because I was gonna ask you, like, it must take two to child this drink, bitch. It must take two to tango, honey. And I was gonna ask you, like, is there anywhere on your part where you feel like there's fault? Because for people to just be starting bullshit from nothing, it seems far-fetched. But as you're explaining it, it's like these small things are setting these girls on these long-ass tirades that have become monotonous and boring, to be honest.
I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I mind my business and I shut the fuck up and I drink my water and I do my thing and I strip and I sell booty and I do all types of stuff. Like, I mean, let's go ahead and play with it. Let's do it all. diminish everything I got going on, child. Like let's go forward. So with that being said, like,
Okay, so we don't want to diminish you, but I do have another question. Exactly how many people have quit this show from this season?
I think only him and one person.
No, there's more.
There's been more people that
Wait. So let me rephrase that question. How many did y'all start the season with? And how many people is going in? Because I know one person got fired. And you, if you roll your eyes any harder, they be down the street, baby.
In order for you to fire, you have to have paid them.
Oh shit!
To be on payroll.
Okay.
Well,
I mean, you know,
They have to be on payroll.
hey, that's real shit though.
That's true.
Yeah,
Oh
you
my
know,
God.
I don't hear no lies told.
I wasn't ready. I wasn't. Oh God, I wasn't ready.
because I'm wondering, like, they must be giving them a pretty penny. And like, certain people are just like, go watch the show, go watch the show.
How do you feel? Do you still have any relationships with anybody from this show?
Do I still speak with anybody from the show?
Yeah.
Tramel, yes.
That's the only one?
Yeah, Tramel is an absolute Tramel and delicious. Tramel is absolutely sweet. He's always been very sweet, very knowledgeable, and
Because I like them.
He's grown on me.
Other than that, wait, did you guys hear me? Did you guys hear that?
Date, though.
What happened? Said again, baby. No, I mean, what you say?
I said I wanted him to have
I
a
said,
little more on the date.
Wait.
Well, I feel like you guys will get to see more of Tramel throughout the whole process. I'm sure that your reaction of him and how you feel about him will definitely change. He's very much so a great guy. He really, really is. And I also talked to Delicious. Everyone else has kind of shown me their true colors. And you know, it is what it is.
Do you feel like you were at least given a chance to make some type of impact on these people? Because I feel like you were given a chance. Just based on the optics of how we're seeing the season move.
I'll be honest. I definitely the scenes that they cut out explained why I did things the way that I did, and it explained why I was the way that I was. And we didn't necessarily get a chance to shoot a lot of different things that I wanted to shoot because like I said, my schedule at the time, I was filming Triangle simultaneously. So it was kind of pulling me back and forth in and out of Atlanta, and I couldn't make it to a lot of different things. And when I decided to speak about wanting to renegotiate my contract, it started to seem like they didn't want to film any more of just me and my personal life and my story anymore. And it got to a point where we were in discussions like every day about this damn contract. And I just said I can't do this anymore because I don't trust that you guys have my best interest at heart. And I don't trust that you guys are going to show me in the best light. And I don't trust it. And he's just like, well, I mean, did you want to, do your interviews, anything? I said, no, I'm not being paid. Like, what are we talking about? We don't. And at the end of the day, it's like, it's a lot. That is a lot. That show is a lot, ladies and gentlemen, and people of the goddamn church. It's a lot. They want you to do so much for nothing but clout on YouTube that I've acquired already.
Well,
it wouldn't hurt to get.
That is true.
But it wouldn't hurt to get more. And like I said, I'm not being cocky. I'm just confident. I know facts. At the end of the day, a lot of my following has come from me being a part of the YouTube family. That's that. But it got to a point where, like I told y'all, like I used to be broke. I used to I used to be homeless. Like, I'm not doing nothing else for free. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Unless it's like a labor of love type of situation. Y'all want me to come here and fight with people who I don't even fucking know and who don't know me And here we are fighting
Right.
about non-fucking sense. At least on Housewives and on Love and Hip Hop, a bitch getting a check, like a check, something hefty, where I can go and stir the pot and do extra shit and do all the extra and try to, redeem myself at the reunion because my goddamn $500,000 check done damn cleared. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
okay.
I just didn't have that type of energy anymore. I just didn't have that. I just didn't. And I got tired of being screwed over by production companies, only for them to turn around and try to fuck completely over me. But it didn't do nothing but bring me followers and more money in my pocket.
And speaking of the new subscribers to your OnlyFans, we're seeing a lot of people indulge in that now. It's another side hustle, and I'm totally here for it. Half of the world is already giving it up for free, so you might as well make some coins off of it while you're at it, honey. Okay,
exactly.
That's how I feel. Is there anybody you would aspire to do an OnlyFans with?
I'd like to collaborate with.
Yes.
There's a few people. I don't want to I feel like OnlyFans can be used for so many different things, not just sex. And I think that you could market it in such an amazingly creative way. And what I want to do and what I'm going to do is something that no one has done. And I don't want to speak on it too much, but I'm definitely going to be collaborating with people. And it's going to be a different take on what you see on OnlyFans right now.
Okay.
Completely different. You'll get to know me, you'll get to know them, and we're just going to have a good time. But I don't want to give too much away because I'm in pre-production right now. So it's a lot of things kind of moving and shaking. It's cool.
Okay. Well, would you do any other reality show?
Yeah, I would.
Or are you just done? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm okay with reality. I didn't have a problem. I did not have a problem with reality. I did not.
Would
have
you
a
do like
problem
an
with reality.
ensemble? Would you want your own?
Either or. But I didn't. I do not. I don't have a problem with reality, documentary, none of that. I don't have a problem with it at all. I had a problem with the production company, and the production company obviously had a problem with me.
One of the things I said in my review was I think that it'd be interesting. There's conversations going around about a Noah's Ark reboot. So I was saying that while they're shading you for working at CPK, you actually had an appearance on the Rona Chronicles for the Noah's Ark, and I was like, now that I think about it, you could actually play Noah. I could see you
audition for that role, because if he tell me he see you for that role all the time,
I'll be honest. Well, actually, Daryl Stevens, who plays Noah, reached out to me to be a part of the Rona Chronicles situation. So he personally, he's slid in my DMs, and we have been connected with each other loosely for some time now. Like when About Him came out, we had a conversation, and it was a very much so heartfelt situation. We shared admiration for one another and our projects, and he has always been a very, very sweet person. But I'm not gonna sit here and say we got phone, we text every day, it's a whole thing, we friends. No, it's not that. We respect each other, he reached out. Great.
Do you know anything about a Noah's Ark? Is that true, or is that just hearsay right now?
He's broken down, honey.
And to know that I'm in the wheelhouse, honestly. Okay, I'm back. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Are we good? Okay. Yeah. If I did know, I couldn't tell you.
Oh yeah, I like that answer. I love that. I know everything.
But if I did audition,
it's real.
If I did audition for a role, I would audition for a Ricky-like role. I like that spicy.
Well, you just said you were approved.
He was.
It's just
more about him.
Really fun to play. It's really fun.
I told Vicky about sucking dick in the park.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was weird how they tried to like use the about him like clips.
So right.
Video.
Listen, things have
Against-
happened. I am very much so. The people are stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. When you have a production company who's years younger than you, you know, you just don't. It just is what it is. Like that's.
But what they don't get is that just drives more traffic to that whatever they're showing. Saying you have an OnlyFans draws people to your OnlyFans. Saying you were on about him only draws people to that thing.
I feel like the smartest thing they could have did to erase me out of the whole situation is just came up with a totally different concept and to really just erase me out of the show altogether. In order for you not to even give me anything, you shouldn't have just given me anything. Instead of spending time and money to edit around it, make it seem like I was just scum, trash, like I just did. Because it's so funny because it really made it seem like I just popped up on the scene. Like I was just there. You know what I'm saying? And it's just funny, like even Akeem, who is 62, decided to come for me, and I did nothing to him. I did nothing.
Listen, I told y'all that bitch was old.
To Mary J. Blige. I did nothing to her. And at the end of the day, he decided to come off of his low horse to come for me. I didn't do anything to him.
Come through.
I didn't come through.
Oh God,
He should be mad at the person. He should be upset with Sharpie for doing his motherfucking eyebrows and fucking arm. He should be mad at Beijing for shit bleeding through during scenes. He should be mad at a whole bunch of other people and not me. I didn't do anything to him. I didn't do nothing.
Give me more. I want more.
And the same thing with 4. Like I don't even know her. Like at this point, he was sitting here carrying this whole MTV thing. But bitch, how dare you be disrespectful in a disrespectful outfit? Like how dare you?
Yes, I'm loving.
How dare you? How dare you? Ladies and gentlemen, the bitches are reaching, but they can't catch, and it's a problem. Like that's the problem. Girl, I'm a pitcher. I do this. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't have a problem. I never had a problem with reading anybody. But the thing about it is I was trying to be cool and calm and collected. But once I'm out of the equation, now everybody have so much to say. But everybody was trying to be my friend the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
It just didn't make sense to me. Like I'm like, I'm so confused. Can we talk about the fashion choices, people? Can we talk about the fashion choices?
Get into it.
We can. We definitely can.
To me, it's giving me a mess. You know, like it's just not cute. It's just extra. It's too much and not enough at the same time, ladies and gentlemen of the church. It just doesn't make any sense. The people are dressed for one or two occasions.
What happened?
I just don't understand it.
What has been some of your favorite
I don't
looks from
understand
the
people.
confessionals?
I just don't get it.
I'm not gonna lie, his confessional looks were a little bit atrocious. I'm not gonna.
I want to hear his
looks
from the confessionals.
Now that I think about it, I don't even see you in a confessional.
Why do you think that is?
He refused to do them because they weren't
They
paying
didn't want to
him.
do them, which is why they painted him so bad, and that's why I think, sort of, kind of, they probably put that battery in Roman's back to do that. You know, like. Go ahead.
Of course they did. Of course they did. Of course they did. I don't have a problem with Roman. I don't have a problem with Shirai. I don't have a problem with anybody who came against me. I just got a problem with how you did things, and I just look at you differently now. I don't have because if I was running around with beef with people, do you know how fucked up my skin would be, honey? Do you know how? Like, I mean, are you kidding me? It's just crazy. I just don't understand. I got too much other stuff to worry about, y'all. Like. I ain't never been, skydiving before. I'm trying to make that happen. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get away from, the bullshit and the fuckery in my personal life, honey. I'm trying to get me a man, a good man. I don't have time for that. I got checks that I'm still trying to, go and collect. I don't have time to have beef with people who are creating beef for clout. We don't have time for that over here, ladies and gentlemen. I don't have time to deal with people who buy their followers.
Oh,
Who buy me
It's a long for me.
I'm not doing that. It's so many people on that cast who has done that. Like, I'm not. We can go down the laundry list, but I'm not going to do that. This time is about me and not them.
Well, just give us one or two.
You be the judge. Go do your research. Go do your research and look at the likes. Listen, go do your research and look at the likes to followers ratio.
That's true.
If the numbers are completely off,
the norm is 10%. So like, if
the normal is 10%.
300 likes. So it's like it's supposed to be 10%. So if they have 50,000 followers and 10 likes,
something's wrong. You right, because I just looked at my followers and then I looked at my yeah, it's about 10%. You're right. You right.
So if it's a huge gap, then bitch,
people still doing that.
No man.
What else?
Like, so I think
ain't nobody got time for no damn.
On your Instagram, you gave us this is almost like a prequel to this conversation that we had, where you felt like they were treating you, or they were meaning to pan you out to be the villain of the season. Yeah. And do you feel like they panned you out to be the villain because of the fact that you left, or that was their plan from the get-go?
That was their plan from the get-go. I found out who all was a part of the situation. And when I found out that a certain particular person, I'm not going to speak his name because, again, we're trying to stay out the courthouse. Although I don't mind going. When I denied this person, like I declined him to be my manager because he wanted to manage my career earlier on. And he had ended up doing a lot of, I interviewed with him, and he was very messy and very messy and very messy. Like it was just bad. See, like it was just bad. So, cut to, he tried to turn me against other cast members. It was a lot. Like he did so much to try to get in, good graces. And whatnot. I need to block.
I know you don't want to say his name, but does it rhyme with Makeem? Because that messy. That's what that.
With the person who gave me the interview, or the person I fell out with.
Both, either.
The person I fell out with, yes, it does rhyme with that. The person who did the interview, no, it does not.
Okay, all right.
Was that Brandon that Akeem was arguing with when he took the food out of his mouth just to continue having the conversation?
Yes, he did.
That's disgusting.
But he really thinks that's cute. He really thinks that's cute. He really thinks that's cute. But the thing is, I feel like back in their age, the Stone Age, I felt like they did shit like that all the time. It's definitely very much so a thing for them to just take things out of their mouth, throw it to the side, child, and just continue to have a conversation. Very much so Stone Age, real. It's very nomadic for him to do. I think go on, live on. Baby. Anybody who cannot make their verbs and subjects agree has no right to start with shit. They have no right, bro. Stop trying to shoot with a bulletless gun, honey. It's just not gonna work. It's not gonna work, bro. It's not gonna work, man. It's just not gonna work.
He said
it's not gonna work.
Subjects and verbs don't agree.
Oh, there is no
agreement. Y'all, Akeem has had so much work done, y'all.
Participles just dangling, like that.
I've been saying that, but people
not only
comments talk about
it's not like the work that you go and pay good money for. It's the work that you I'm sure he probably got work done in the West End.
No. It's real. I was joking. Nothing has been done.
Oh no, God, not the West End.
Nothing has been done to Akeem's face. Nothing.
including makeup.
Exactly the
not
same.
right. Like
His face looks exactly the same.
If you
So
pay money to look exactly the same, you wasted your money.
exactly.
So I have this one question. What's next for you? What's next for you after all of this?
What's next for me? I have a lot in the works. I'm definitely diving more so into my writing passions. So I have a series that's kind of like bubbling under right now. I'm in conversations with 2 different production companies about 2 other projects that I'm working on as well too.
Yes,
Triangle is still a thing. I actually go back to film with them next week. I'm also doing my own docuseries myself that I'm working on as we speak. As well too. I start filming on Wednesday. And
oh Lord Jesus, who it is.
Yeah, it's a lot. A lot is definitely happening. I collaborating with some folks myself, so yeah, it's gonna be really cool.
That's what's up.
I'm sorry.
Well, look what the cat done drug in.
Hello, sir.
I had nothing to do with
Hey,
it.
El Teddy.
Hey,
Hi.
how is everyone?
Hey.
We love you.
Great.
We-
Wait, who's this?
Wait, what did I miss? God, I feel like I missed something. Like
Brandon, meet yet another member of the Justice League. This is El Teddy 27 official. El Teddy, Brandon. I think he's the one. I think he stole your book from your house. And I'm gonna just leave it right there.
He stole the book.
my book?
Yes, he got your book.
Brandon now is the new Wizard of Reed. It's for you.
What's God?
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah, he got your book, baby. That's gone.
He has my book.
What happened? I'm so confused.
I'm very lost.
Okay,
There's a book of darkness that I have,
mm-hmm.
and when I get ready to drag a bitch and skull drag them, I have to break out the book of darkness and read from their chapter because reading is fundamental. And
Very much so.
I have to teach the people to conjugate verbs and not misplace modifiers when they're speaking, because these are the things that we do. When we read people still are working on phonemic awareness, but they're talking about reading, and you can't read if you don't know phonemes. But I'll leave it at that. Anyway, hey Brandon, how art thou?
Hey, I'm doing great. How are you? I'm sorry that you made it so late to the party, but I'm glad that you're here.
I know I was working. I am gainfully employed, and I apologize.
I live for that.
I have a question. Is everything on the table?
Yeah. We went over all of it.
Oh, okay. Okay. I just wanted to talk about. Did you all talk about his leaving of the Signal 23 situations?
Oh yeah, we knocked that
Because
out.
I wasn't here, I don't know. I just want to know what happened. Did they steal money from you like they stole from everybody else?
They didn't steal money from me. They didn't steal money from me. They didn't steal money from me. I started asking for my money, and then we started having questionable meetings. And then after that, I found out I wasn't a part of the show anymore on Instagram.
Oh. Are you still close with Gary?
Yes, very much so.
Oh, okay. How is he? I miss Gary.
He's great. He's doing some great things. He has his own production company right now, Glow Media, and he has his hands full. But you guys will be seeing more of us soon.
Okay. I saw the interview not the interview. I saw that epic, infamous podcast that you and Trip did. What happened with that?
Yes.
What happened with that?
Well, to reopen that door, like I told them before, I had a big mouth. His jail scene came out with the Tex Brown situation, and he didn't warn me that it was going to come out. And I had a conversation with one of our producers that I shouldn't have, and he felt some type of way about the conversation being had, and which he should have, rightfully so. And he called me out for it on camera instead of doing it behind the scenes. And I felt like that was unprofessional, and we stopped working with each other from there.
What was the last time you got in a fight?
Oh, the corporate mouth.
I don't believe in physical altercation if it's not necessary. Like, I don't particularly let people get me to that place. I feel like I spend a lot of money on products to make my face look great. I feel like I also spend money on clothing and on shoes and stuff, and I don't want to really, ruin that. I don't necessarily care to fight. I don't feel like it's that necessary. Like, what
So
are we
you
fighting
don't.
for?
I just wanted to ask that because that seems to be a prevailing thing for people that are on these here shows that all they want to do
That they
is
fight, and I don't.
right
Yeah,
and
no,
carry on.
it's
I
just
just
not
don't
cute.
understand.
It's very animalistic.
It gives me a whole simian like tea. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I will say this though. There are not, although I'm not the biggest fan of altercations and fighting and so on and so forth. I do understand that some people. I do understand that some people. I understand the frustration behind people who feel like other people need to be slapped in moments, because
they do.
A lot of people say a lot of different things and a lot of crazy things, and they say a lot of defaming things, or some people can't handle banter for so long. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just people just can't. So people who can't, they do something else. It's like, oh, okay, fuck it, I'm tired of talking. Like it's that kind of.
Is the problem on?
Not to
Is
say
the
that it's
problem?
right.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Not to say that it's wrong, but it is what it is.
Is the problem on that show the cast?
I mean, it is what it is. I just don't handle my altercations like that. I don't.
Is the problem on that G status the cast or the production?
I feel like we need to both blame the puppet and the puppet master. We got to blame the puppet for being a damn puppet when you have the choice not to. And we got to blame the puppet master for creating this concept or this trash, if you will, to give to people and to make it seem like people are working on themselves and everything when everyone is spending so much time tearing the next person down.
If you could make your own gay reality TV show, what would it be like and who would be on it?
It would definitely. I haven't seen. I've seen a lot of gay reality shows that bite off of the concept of Love and Hip Hop, the concept of Basketball Wives, but no one has done it the Housewives way. No one has done it where it's really like a thing where we, in our confessionals, we have to be suit and tie. When we do reunions, everybody has to be suit and tie. It's a very put together, prim and proper situation. When we have events, bitch, we having events. Like, we're not like, it's not like no podunk bullshit that somebody done dug up in their backyard. It's more so like, I rented out, this rooftop bar so I can celebrate my, lingerie, my men's lingerie line, and I want everybody to come in their best silk pajamas. I want this to be a whole situation. I'm going to call it a silk soiree, and I'm going to have a fun party mixed with food and music and all of that jazz. Nobody is trying to do nothing like that. Everybody's trying to be the cheap. They're trying to be very cheap and get around it. But the thing is, the people like quality. That's what they buy into. People buy into quality. People buy into quality. I'm going to say that one more time for the people in the back. People buy into quality.
I mean, but you have to question when you join a show where the executive producer is getting evicted and stuff like that, and join shows where the executive producers make annual salaries south of $50,000 per year. What are we talking about? But let me shut up.
Please.
I mean, because when we talk about media and television, executive producers are the money people, okay?
Yeah, they are.
These are the people who are putting funds behind the show. And you talk about
by title, they're supposed to be.
You talk about people who came by monthly bus passes, but they talk about being executive producers. Girl, shut up.
I feel like in definition, like for people to even stand up and say I'm an executive producer or something, it's like, oh girl, it's baffling at this point. Like, really, like.
But
so you're an executive producer. So that's what we're going for. Okay, so you spending the money to make all this happen. That's
but you know what, people like to slap titles on themselves. like people who say that they're public figures on Instagram, and you be like, wait, what public? Because I'm part of the public. I don't know who you are, but
I mean, some people are just simply questionable. Hell, to be completely honest with you, everybody don't know me, but I'm not running around here acting like people know me. The problem that I had on that show, everybody was making it seem like everybody was supposed to know me. No, that wasn't the case. Stay the fuck out of my DMs if none of y'all know me.
Amen.
Okay.
Whether it was for business or for pleasure, leave me the fuck alone if none of y'all know me.
Amen.
I agree.
That's all I'm saying.
I'm good for a good DM. Y'all know me. I'm good for a good DM because I'm a whole ass whore. So I'm good for a good DM. You know,
not the whole word.
The entirety. I'm in the entirety of a whore. You know, just all of it. But yeah, I will say this, and I'm not gonna lie to you. I said this in my review. I don't understand how these girls talk about they live in Atlanta. They are people who be around the gay circuit in Atlanta. Then they say, I never heard of Brandon. I'm not even from Atlanta. And I knew who you were. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really sat looking at these girls like, girl, come on now.
Yeah. Like, they knew who you were. Like, get the hell out of here.
You tell me that you live in Atlanta and everybody know who you are. You're well connected. So you going to tell me you don't know, but come on now. Come on, I ain't trying to make you all like that. I ain't slobbing on your knob, not unless you want me
as
to.
You shouldn't. But you know, I completely understand.
I'm just saying, something like, you know what.
When I started, it just became like a really funny thing. Like it just became like almost a comedy show at this point to see who's gonna be best at dragging me, because it was like, okay, well. It was almost like a pass the baton type of situation, like hot potato. Like he got a problem. Okay, now he got a problem. Okay, now he don't know him. Now, oh, okay, now he don't know him. Oh, okay, we don't know why he here, but he act like he too much. Like it's like the thing about it is what I've learned a long time ago is people really live off of reflection. And the thing about it is it's not that I walked in the room feeling like I was the shit and feeling like I was better than everybody. It's you picked up on a vibe and you didn't like it.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's just like, oh, this bitch think he better than everybody and oh, this and that. I mean, the reality of the situation is, I mean, he was saying, okay, like Ford was saying, okay, I mean, he walked into the room and he was making it seem like he was, girl, I was sitting down when you got there.
Oh,
I'm confused. Like it was just all like, it was just all a reach. And it just made
you
me
was
laugh.
eating,
like they really thought
they
it
food on
but it was entertaining. It really, really was. But can we just stop? I'm tired of the scenes being so long. I don't watch anymore because I'm not a part of the situation anymore. I really didn't watch when I was there.
Thank you for saying it.
Brandon, everybody says,
but
thank you for saying it.
These people don't know the value of editing. What's the purpose of an editing room if you just gonna put everything in there? You might as well not even have
no editing room.
It's so long. No editing room. So many episodes. It is so fucking long.
There's no editing room. This is the thing. What it's called lazy. It's called lazy production. They film this whole scene, and the only editing that's happening is different camera cuts. Not cutting out certain parts of the conversation and everything. That's not fucking necessary, because at the end of the day, when you put in that whole conversation, that strays us away from the original storyline. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of just like, okay, so girl, what are we talking about? Like, let's get down to the nitty gritty. This 10-minute conversation should have been all of 3.
The other thing that I'm gonna say about that is the fact that there is no editing room just proves when some of these people come on here trying to make it like, oh, well, editing made me out to be some horrible person. No, bitch. They showed the entirety of the conversation. We saw the first Genesis, Exodus, Malachi, Matthew, Mark, and John. Okay,
like girl, we saw the whole conversation. Like,
you're a horrible
we
person.
were forced to watch the whole conversation.
Right,
that's what
you're
happened.
a horrible person. There's no editing.
Yeah.
You know, you're horrible.
Please.
Which makes you a whore.
Just like in the scene with Tramel and Stanley. And as much as I love
it's just a reach.
I want to see his
I feel like
interview
the show
up
should be
here.
called The Reach, ATL.
Not the reach, guys.
It's just all a reach. It's all a reach. Everybody reaching for something that they can't catch. It's just a reach. It's a reach.
Damn.
I want them to reach for some degrees somewhere in America. That's what I really want them to reach for.
Or a check. I mean, everybody ain't college material. Just get a fucking check.
Everybody not college material.
Everybody not get a resume at least.
Just get a check. God damn.
But you know what? But catch me out, and I'm gonna just say this, and I'm gonna say this, catch me out. I'm just gonna be an advocate. As an educator, I'm gonna be an advocate. I do know and understand that everybody is not made for college. But however, let me say, I hate when that is the very first thing that a lot of the girls go to because they haven't even tried. Because they don't even want to try to amass that. And so what ends up happening is you feed to the younger generation that, I could just be a socialite and I just go make it.
I'm saying is college right now.
I'm not saying for you.
I get it. But what I'm saying is as far as college not being for everybody, it may not be college. That don't mean you shouldn't pick up a fucking grade, bitch. Still learn. Still educate yourself. Still grab you some knowledge.
Whatever you decide to put
you want to do.
Your passions into.
You want to be
go get that training for it. It's training. It's training for everything. It is training for everything.
It's all on YouTube, shit.
But you need to
training for everything. Listen, you want to be a hoe? You gonna be the best goddamn. You better go and study every Kardashian. You better go and study every merit. You better go and study all. You know what I'm saying? Study the ways.
Okay, because hoes get going into business for themselves. They ain't got no pimps. They got their own pimp.
Hello.
Go into business for yourself. And then do it right. Don't nobody want no trash ass. If you gonna be a hoe,
but the about it is, I even have to say that to the production teams of these failed reality shows. Because here it is, you all are calling yourself production teams, and what are you producing? Trash. You don't even know how to
that. Can we also discuss how the production team turned against the whole production itself?
Yeah.
Like, did y'all not know that?
That whole we gonna hold these episodes hostage shit.
Wait, did y'all not know that though? Like, did y'all not know the production? So producers who weren't like executive producers were going around on Instagram, Twitter, basically saying that they was being treated wrong, that they never got paid, that they should have a show outside of this show, that it's a whole bunch of bullshit and a whole bunch of stuff going on behind the scenes. I got sent text messages, videos. I got sent all types of stuff from these producers who left the show because, they weren't paid.
I can believe it. But even the executive producers, I should say, aren't on the same page. Because when we had that whole situation with Really B, Ja through the KL got out there and say, bitch, you go handle it on your own. I'm not here for you. What kind of, executive producer team is that? That's not how this works.
I think he did it because KL was the one that responded to Really.
But it does not matter. If the show and you're an executive producer, both of y'all you need to be on there because that's the brand. And if you're a team, you stand up for the brand.
Yeah.
I mean, you're supposed to, but then again, we are talking about a situation who decided to turn around and drag somebody because they didn't want to pay them. Like, let's not try to argue their professionalism or lack their fucking of, because there is none.
It's the same situation.
There is none, and to expect it from them is just
when we talked about Dallas. Like, can you guys separate the personal from the professional? Because if you guys are always inviting these negative situations and these fucked up dynamics of so-called friendships or business partners, cast members, whatever you want to call them, you end up cutting their season short or trying to edit situations to make them look like the bad guy.
Exactly.
And it's not right.
It's just, and it doesn't look good. It just doesn't look good as a production company, as a business, because the show already doesn't look good based off of what's already going on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, let's be real. There's drama that happens. Everybody has some type of drama that goes on in life, and because we're all different, and because we all come from different backgrounds, we all handle things differently. However, when the production itself is doing nothing but following just that, the show itself becomes just that, which means that it's only going to bring in a certain demographic for a viewer from other companies and other businesses who would want some type of sponsorship over your project. And it also dims the light of marketing as it pertains to what you're going to put out there to bring these people in. When I say dim the light, I mean your previews and everything has to be sluggish and, well, bitch, you fuck my man. Now here we go. Now we throwing drinks, we pulling hair. Let him go. We doing all of that just to get people to come and watch this show that we are building around bullshit.
Let me say this. Let me say this. I think one of the biggest problems is two things. The vision of the people, of the creators of this show, of these shows, and the casting. First, casting. When you bring people on there that don't represent what the original vision of the show was, or it's supposed to be, or what the fucking title says it's supposed to be, and you bring these people on, that is counterproductive to what it's supposed to be. Okay. The second thing is, what they don't understand is when the vision that these people have for these shows, or the creators of these shows, they limit themselves because they always want to involve themselves in the mess of the gay world. And what they don't understand of the black gay world, and what they don't understand is you already have two strikes against you. You're black and you're gay. And so what you're doing is you're adding a third strike to yourself by saying that, okay, we're just going to focus on mess and fuckery and fucktitude, okay? And not knowing that you're lowering your ceiling and you're limiting the amount of eyes or views that you can get. You're never going to get to the stratospheric 7-figure views. You know what I'm saying? Damn, I say 8-figure views with this type of foolishness and foolery.
Exactly.
I'll give you the perfect example. Patrick Ian Polk said, fuck you to all of network television. When I do my 15th year reunion, I'm doing it all on, YouTube and so forth and so on. And got stratospheric numbers. You want no mess, no nothing. You want to know why? The casting was great. The writing was great. It presented people with things that they wanted to see, positivity and great things, and you didn't have to focus on. I think so. The problem is they want to focus so much on the mess because it's going to give them the quick instant gratification, and they're not in it for the long haul. Saying, you know what, I want to build a brand, and I think that's where the problem comes in with these shows. Or who am I? I'm just talking about.
Let me say something, Brandon. You being on that show is fucking everything, because Noah's Ark to gay people is everything. But that go on it, girl.
Brandon, Brandon, I did talk to. I had an interview with Rodney Chess, who plays Alex from Noah's Ark.
I love him so. He is. Oh, he's so sweet. He is one of the sweetest
we
people.
had a great time, especially backstage, but we talked a lot.
He is one of the sweetest people ever.
He talked to me about the fact that he and Alex talked about the fact that they had to have you on the show.
Wow.
Reunion, because of the fact that what that First About Him did for the next generation of gay young black men. Noah's Ark was, this pioneering staple for my generation. But that next generation, they looked to About Him season 1. They saw that YouTube thing, and that was and so that's why they said that they wanted to make sure that you were, even if it was a quick glimpse, a part of that, similar to how Titus gave, homage to Alex. He did to him, and all those little things, like everything was purpose for purposeful, I should say, and they had a meeting behind it. So we did talk about that behind the scenes, and it was real. It was a real good call. I wish you were there to hear, but he did tell me and talk to me about it, and I'm glad I'm able to tell you that, because they did talk about the fact that they did want to make sure that that happened.
What was that? It got me a little teary-eyed. There has been so much bullshit that has come from this literal overnight thing that kind of happened from these shows and doing certain stuff. Like, I literally woke up one morning and people knew what they knew about me. They wanted to holler at me. It was just a lot of different things. And to know, like, it's a lot of hate that comes with that. A lot.
I can imagine.
People be mad and they real upset. The mentality here in Atlanta is very much so crab in a barrel. And it's like it's a lot of people that's been here for a while working towards popping and being famous, and it's a lot of people who just really honestly want to be famous. I realize that. Like, some people just really want people to know their damn name. I don't understand it. Like, because I've been on the side of people knowing my name, but I'm trying to understand what I'm gonna eat today because I don't have the money to pay for it. Like, I just don't understand that. So when I started taking my name and charging motherfuckers to use it, things started to open up. But like, to know that people who came before me, who I've looked up to for such a long time, I used to go and sneak and watch their show when I was young. I used to have to go, and I think I was like 13, like I was 12 or 13 when I first came across it. And I was so fucking anxious because part of it was just trying to see what was going to happen on the next episode. Another part of it was just looking over my shoulder so nobody caught me watching it. Like, it's just, every time I watch the episodes, the show is just so nostalgic. And it just makes me emotional, and it makes me feel so full to know that one of the reasons behind me becoming an actor was these people and these actors and these proudly gay men who depicted a proudly gay story. And it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. And to have their approval is just mind-blowing, crazy.
I will say they are definitely the epitome of like that standard, that self-discovery moment in your life, child. Like you finally can relate to someone like, bitch, I'm coming out. Like, this is that moment for most of us.
Right.
Like, to see something that looked like us and represented us in a positive light on television.
Yeah. It's absolutely beautiful, man. It really is.
And Brandon, I'm gonna tell you this: be grateful that you're going through this with these some of the cast.
Oh, wait, I can't hear
some
you.
of the cast now. Because can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
I said, be thankful that you're going through this now.
I can't hear you. I'm sorry.
Can you hear me?
He can.
Can y'all hear me?
But they can't.
I can hear you.
I can hear you, Brandon.
I'm gonna go out and
I
come
can
back
hear
in.
I can hear Brandon.
I can hear everybody. I just can't hear him.
This is StreamYard again. StreamYard, child.
Well, I think what he might have been trying to say is that, be grateful of these moments. Even this, don't consider this a failure. This was a stepping stone.
It was a lesson.
A learning experience. Everything should be looked at as a learning experience, no matter how it comes.
I'm gonna be brutally honest, Brandon. When I saw you at the hibachi grill, I did a double take. I said, "Wait, why is Brandon Karson there with these troglodytes?" Because I really thought, like, I was like, "Why is he with these people?"
Wait.
I really did. I'm not gonna even lie to you. When I saw you there, I was like, I did a double take. Like, why is he here with me? When I saw you and Lando both, I was like, why is he here with these troglodytes? Why is he here with the cellar dwellers of the world? I'm not gonna lie to you. I said that in my brain. I'm like, oh, girl, you slumming it up today with the kids, girl.
Not slumming. Listen, okay, no. Okay, listen, y'all. I really don't want to, like, okay. I don't want to put it out there like I was better than the show.
You better
I don't
than
want
those
to put it
people.
out there that I was above the show, that I was
No, you
above
weren't above the show,
all of
but
that.
you were
Because at
above
the
those
end of the
people.
day, well, the thing about it is I signed on to be a part of it. You know what I'm saying? So the thing, it's like I knew what I was walking into. I knew what the situation was, but what my intention was to do was just to do my best, my very best, to change the perspective of how people felt about it. Because here's the thing, the world doesn't change, people change the world. And when you walk into situations like that, you always have the mindset and the heart to want to be able to bring love and light into situations. And that's all I wanted to do with this. It really was, all shade aside, all bullshit aside, all bitchiness or cattiness aside. I really wanted it to be a good situation. Like, we had a really good, initially we had a really great cast of some really great people who could have taken that show and flipped it upside down, giving it a 180, and gave people something that they can feel for real. You know what I'm saying? And really, really give people a reason to be like, oh, this is why this is a problem. So this is the issue. And it shows that we can go and have a conversation and either decide to be done with each other or be done with the issue and move forward. So I want to put that out there first.
Do you think that
As
that's
it pertains to the
attributed?
people.
I'm sorry.
No,
Do you
say that.
think
I'm
that's
sorry.
attributed? I'm sorry. Do you think that's attributed to people just living in this fantasy of fame instead of? Do you really think these people are just intentionally out here just fucked up like that?
Yeah.
Sad world we live in.
There are people out here who just want to see other people fail so they can prevail. It really is the thing. It's some people who thrive off of dragging someone else down to feel good.
That's an insecure.
And people need a platform to do it. And one of those people just so happens to be one of the executive producers. If not both of them.
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, like I said in my review, like I cussed them the fuck out. How dare you sit there and do that? It's so unprofessional. And one thing I always loved about Ja, whoever, because at the end of the day, someone had to do the final approval for that particular edit, right?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, it was Sun out there with malice.
Yeah, I gave them no approval to do that. I gave them no approval to put in about him scene, nor did Signal 23 Television. I gave them no approval to do a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? But I did sign a video release for him. So that's why I'm being shown on the show. But the only reason why they really, really wanted to show me is to bring me up and to tear me down. Yep. That's what that's all about. And I also feel like Josh shows favoritism over guys who are like him, like guys who wear makeup, guys who are a bit more androgynous, guys who are a bit more and a bit more flamboyant. He kind of gives and sheds light on those people specifically. It's the reason why Charlie gets the light he does, our guy gets the light he does, Redrick is going to get the light that he will. Delicious. It's just they're all very, very adjacent to who he is aesthetically. And he feels like he understands them even more, and he pushes their narrative because he feels like people need to be more in agreement with the people just wanting to wear makeup and live life and be free. And I think that's what he wants. It's going to show. You'll see. You'll definitely see.
That's interesting.
I mean, it does make sense.
It'll definitely show.
Probably just came at 100.
It makes sense. It does.
I'm like, damn, why are we shading people episode 1? Delicious just got up and just said, hey, how y'all doing? My name Delicious. And there go 4 in the corner. This bitch talking too much.
You heard right.
I don't have it for him.
Right. You heard it right in the corner.
I don't have it for it. I don't really care for it. I don't really deal with it. I just don't have time for whore. I don't have time for him. Like at the end of the day, it is what it is. We just gonna keep it moving. Because he decided to bring up shit that didn't have nothing to do with him. Like he tried to make himself seem so relevant in a situation where nobody was talking about him. Nobody. He was a part of no one's conversation. He
But
popped
you
off
do
on his
gotta
own
attribute that.
merit. If you watch specifically, he popped off on his own merit and decided to be a villain on his own right and come against all of these people at the table because nobody else was talking about him.
Brandon, your expectations may be a little too high because when someone's name is equal to their IQ score, you have to understand the expectations of those individuals. Okay, you have to set the bar and the expectations for these individuals. So you may be expecting way too much for that young man. Way too much.
Jesus Christ.
To my knowledge.
Help us, Father.
Correct me if I'm wrong, right? Help us all. When you are doing a reality show or when you're doing these confessionals and everything, it only makes sense, right? For you to dress appropriately for the season that the show is about to come out on. If I'm not mistaken, like because when you do your interviews, you do interviews after you film. Okay. I was a little perplexed that he decided to wear summer glasses with a winter coat
and a
do-rag.
Hold on.
It was a run in the do-rag.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on. Sorry.
Don't forget our guy with his little
we are not about to say that it was a fur coat. That was dog fur, bitch. That was dog hair.
It was big.
Dog fur is still fur.
Listen,
dog fur
it was thrifted, and that's fine. It was thrifted, and that's fine. That's okay. That is okay. I believe in reclaimed vintage. I think that it's very, very cute. However, what you're not about to do is be dressed. Oh, he was a wolf in sheep's clothing.
Hey,
hallelujah!
Perfection. It was perfection. Absolute perfection. I think that's what he was going for.
Glory.
That's what he was going for.
Do-rags are $2.
You know what?
He had to run his do-rag. You had a run in your do-rag, baby. You could have went to the beauty supply and bought another one.
You know what really?
If you're gonna do a do-rag for your and if you're gonna do a do-rag, let it all be one color. You know what I'm saying?
How you call yourself a barber and you do a do-rag? How you call yourself a damn barber and you do a fucking do-rag? Get the fuck out of here!
Let me tell you how he told on himself though. He told on himself when he was in his confessional, he was like, well, the girls say I do coke, but you know, I don't, it's not the truth. And I'm like, girl, no one actually said you do cocaine, honey. So yeah, you just told on yourself, bitch. Hello,
I don't like to speak on anyone's drug usage because I've smoked quite a few blunts before. However,
marijuana is different than cocaine, honey.
Right.
I mean,
let me confess. I'm going to confess right now to the chat. I'm going to confess. I must confess. I do smoke. I smoke heavy skin cigars and skin blunts all the time.
Yeah.
I smoke them heavily and I smoke them well.
That's why we can't have nice things.
Yeah, we can have
nice cigars and my skin blunt that I smoke. Don't judge me.
No judgment.
Thank you.
Oh, baby, I smoke like a chimney, so I can't judge you.
But I just feel like it's just.
I don't know. It was just the delusions of grandeur that took me out. Like everybody came up, oh, you must know me from here. You know me from this. Y'all remember me from this. Y'all heard me saying this. Y'all heard me, and I'm just like, girl. Brandon, I always said, Brandon is the only bitch that could get up here and say, y'all know me from this, that, and the third. The rest of y'all, I don't know y'all from a can of paint. I'm just
no one outside of the free clinic or a mental institution knows who the fuck she is, okay? No one. And Terry, I know you work in the medical field, so maybe you ran across her. But I don't know. No one outside of the free clinic or the Department of Health. I mean, she does stay in Atlanta, where the headquarters of the Center for Disease Control is, where the CDC is headquartered, and that makes sense. That makes sense for her to be in Atlanta. But girl, don't nobody know you. outside of those places.
Oh Jesus!
Oh my. Well,
I know, like,
I wasn't gonna be talking about it.
I mean, listen, she brought it on herself because she just came on too strong. It was just too strong, too early, too soon, and it was to turn off.
Where was all that damn energy when Lando King? Where was all that energy when Lando King was serving your ass truth and justice, bitch? You know what I'm saying? When she,
I'm not gonna speak on it.
Oh, you got knocked on the floor, you got this and that, you know, but she was asking like, who threw the plate? He's like, I don't know who threw the plate. Cut to him throwing the goddamn plate. I'm just like,
no. Wait a minute.
Who did that? It was you.
Right. No.
It's a literal throw the rock and hide your hand situation. He's literally
literally throwing and
then you took your knee
throwing the
and
rock.
you stomped on that woman's neck.
No, wait a minute. This woman told on herself when she first talked about when she first lied.
Wait, Scotty, you caught that read? Scotty caught that shade.
Yeah.
Oh, he just caught it.
Oh,
y'all stupid. Y'all.
That girl lied and talked about being flued out by MTV, and then in the next breath talked about sending people pictures of her horns and toes and feet.
Anybody associated to MTV is not going to send that to
I'll be back.
You heard that in the same breath. Girl, get your fucking life in order. Girl, you are Dr. Scholl's dream. You are Dr. Scholl's dream, buddy. Girl. I can't. I'm not doing I'm not doing this.
That's why y'all the people really asked me why I quit. I mean, I really would have gave y'all everything y'all could feel had my check came. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all. I would have gave y'all one good ass season.
Like, you can see Brandon outside of like a character because we see him play different roles. We haven't seen him like be himself in a different, in this kind of space.
Wait, say that one more time. I'm sorry.
I was saying that's why it was going to be good. And that's why I was excited when, initially the cast, you came out, you were going to be on the show. I'm like, we're used to seeing him, play a character. So now we're going to get to see like him in his real life, how he really is. Because I will say, like, your character, only because from when I met you, is very different than Brandon.
Extremely. Extremely.
So that was interesting because he plays the timid character that's kind of like shy and demure. That's not who Brandon is in real life.
Yeah, I'm actually like a really good time. Like, I mean, I feel
really?
like I really am a good time. Like, I'm very much so like very very fun. I'm the life of the party. I like to have a great time.
Find out you're a good time.
I mean, ask about me, but I apparently, it's a lot going around, child. So I mean, I don't got nothing else going on. Man.
I don't know if we had an opportunity to get are you in a relationship? Is that something you're looking for? If you're not in one, like, how's your whole relationship status?
Okay, it's a lot going on, honey. It's just it's
good dick.
It's real complicated. I mean, the only reason why it's complicated is because with me being a natural born Scorpio at heart.
Yes. Come on,
my decision. Yeah, our decision making process can be a bit
elongated.
Go with the wind sometimes. So it's like, I mean, I might be wanting to fuck with you this week, and then next week I'm good. Like, I'm done. I'm over it.
Scorpios
so it's like,
wait, are you in October or November?
November.
Okay. One of the elite.
God.
One of
November
the
17th.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm on the 17th. So but yeah, dating for me has been hard ever since about him, honestly. It's been very, very hard. People expect me to be just like the character, or people like the idea of being with me and only want to be a part of the sexual realm of me, but they don't want to deal with the mental. And the mental is actually the most
Important.
complex part of me, that I would love anybody to at least want to understand. And yeah, my criteria is completely different now too. Like money, I mean, granted, I want you to have money, but I'm not trying to live off of you, if that makes sense.
Let's get into it. What are you looking for?
You know,
What
I'm
would your
pretty
ideal
okay.
be, honey?
Yeah, like I'm pretty okay. Like, we don't need your wallet. However, if you want to pass it over here,
Okay.
But
You
yeah,
better believe
it's
it.
been pretty hard. And then it got even harder when OnlyFans came about. But there's this guy that I'm talking to right now, and we see each other. We see each other. There's one guy in particular that, you know, we see each other. There's other guys that are there, but I mean, they're not making much of an impression on me. So,
are you one who feels more comfortable dating someone outside of the industry and realm of what you do, as opposed to just like a regular person?
yeah, now I am. More so because my most recent relationship, the guy that I was dating at the time, we met each other on Japped.
As one does.
Don't feel ashamed.
And you know, our first time we met, we hit it off. The first time we met, we hit it off. He was extremely sweet. He was very nice, and he was a great kisser. We didn't have sex. I wanted to wait for that because I felt like this was something special. Because usually when you meet somebody off of an app, it doesn't necessarily spark. And when it does spark, you got to hold on to it for a second.
Exactly.
So, yeah. So from there,
Right.
we went like a few weeks and, you know, getting to know each other and everything. I had introduced him to all the people that I know and, you know, well, people who are around me because at the time, like, I met him during the holidays. So it was a lot of holiday parties going on. So, I mean, if he was around, he was going to meet the people. So cut to maybe like 2 or 3 weeks had passed and he sat me down and we had a conversation. And he was like, okay, so I just want to be completely honest with you. I knew exactly who he was when we started talking to each other because he was making it seem like he knew nothing about me. He knew nothing was happening. He knew nothing about him. He knew nothing about anything that I had done. And 3 weeks into us meeting each other, he goes and he tells me, you know, he knows everything. He knows all of this stuff. And it was just like, okay, this is weird, one. And two, like, I mean, why not talk to me about that? Like, that's just weird. But whatever. So basically, he felt like, you know, initially he was just like, yeah, I just felt like you were doing like softcore porn. And I was just really like, I didn't want to get into that or anything because I don't really accept it. I said,
wait. So he pretended not to know who you were to get close to you, but the whole time he had a problem with what you did.
I have questions.
Right.
And then we broke up because I didn't connect him to enough people. And he felt like I wasn't supportive of his career and what he had going on, but he was mad at the fact that I had things going on and wasn't really passing the torch. However, I had hand walked him into rooms to where he could have conversations with certain people, and he decided not to. That's not on me, that's on him.
I'm not going to ask you for a name, but is it someone we would know?
Of course not.
So he's nobody.
I try to date away from that. Yeah, I try to date away from that as much as I possibly can.
Okay.
Because I know a lot of people.
Have you ever dated somebody we would know?
Ooh, shit.
Maybe.
I know a lot of, people, OnlyFans date people who have OnlyFans just so that you can understand.
Wait, how do we get to OnlyFans? Wait.
Well, no, I mean, I felt like that would be easier, but a lot of guys who are on OnlyFans are actually pretty fucking socially like abnormal. Like they don't necessarily really know how to hold too much of a conversation. Like majority of them, I have met some really great guys who are really, really cool and very chill, and you know, all things went well. But you know, other than that, like it's It's majority of the time it's pretty weird.
Y'all got y'all own OnlyFans dating app or something like that. Y'all own OnlyFans.
Not a coalition.
Instant message feed or something like that.
No, it's nothing like that. I feel like we all get it because we all are in the same type of hustle. Some of us go a little bit further than others, but it is what it is. You be more accepting and understanding of it. I actually want a monogamous relationship, and majority of the guys that I've met off of OnlyFans want an open relationship. So that ain't for me.
Amen.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. No. Justice League, answer that question.
Oh no, that wasn't it for me.
No,
it was the corporate mouth thing for me.
Scott,
when I take
not
for everything he was worth,
not interested.
Or will get
not interested. Not everybody.
Hey, let me tell you something. You can bring your ass over to the Yes God, not bitch. You can bring your ass over. Just remove that cocaine residue from your nose, bitch. That's all I have.
I'm gonna be out that episode.
Okay. It would actually be best that he don't come on the show,
baby.
Because
it would be.
The stenches of booty holes and yesteryear trade, honey, and Black and Miles. We don't have time for that.
He does look like a Black and Miles.
Well, I'm not here.
He looked like he's
Black and Miles.
And can I ask a question? Can I ask this question? Can you confirm or deny that he had no plate?
He did. What do you think he threw?
See no plate.
What do you think he threw?
I didn't see.
I ain't seen him. No, he didn't see no food on that plate. Everybody else was eating. Her broke ass won't.
Yeah.
No, but this is the thing. Okay, so this is what. Okay. Well, you know, they tried to make it seem like Dre Simber had came like late and had did a whole like stunt and did the extra.
He was already there.
It was a whole stunt in the extra. Like they had him come extremely late. They had Akeem come extremely late. Like it was a whole bunch of just like nonsense behind that whole situation. The reason why they didn't have food like is because they didn't know, but they didn't know where they wanted to sit Dre Simber at the time. So then they left an open space and one of the plates was empty because at the time, like the food was being dispersed. He wasn't there. So he came like after the fact and they made it seem like he was already there, but he really wasn't.
But it seemed like, for example, like the Akeem situation, I felt like, okay, bitch, you just been sitting back there the whole time waiting for them to tell you, okay, bitch, come on, in the room. That's kind of how I said that in my review. That's kind of how it felt in the goddamn on the show. Like, okay, why y'all holding him back? Because nobody who's is coming at hosted.
Well, he was also, the people like to talk about how much money they have and where they've been and everything, but fuck it. He was also waiting on a ride. The reason why he was actually pretty late is because, he just didn't necessarily have adequate transportation. I don't drive in Atlanta, but I make sure I get to and from where I need to be. So, at the end of the day, that's, it is what it is. He was late. God.
You can Uber everywhere. I don't understand that either.
Oh, dear God. Oh, dear God.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, tell the truth, shame the devil. Yeah.
Hey, that's what I said because he only had his phone and his ID was behind his phone and his phone case. And the children that ride like that, or the children ain't got no car. Where your car keys, bitch? Where your wallet? You ain't got no wallet, girl?
I'm not gonna shade you for not. I'm not gonna shade you for not having a car because I don't have a car. But I'm gonna shade you for not having an adequate here to go, especially when this your event. Like, girl,
First of all, I don't care if you got a car or not, but this is 2020 where they have Uber and Lyft. Back in the day when bitches had to catch the bus or in Atlanta, the MARTA or whatever, that was a different story. We live in 2020, and if you're gainfully employed, you should be able to afford a Lyft or Uber wherever the fuck you need to go. Especially if your whole
this is everybody's check, remember? This show is substantial for everybody. Like nobody else.
Wait a minute.
This is it. You know what I'm saying?
He did do an interview where I thought he was underwater with the royal couch. I just knew he was underwater or in the middle of a waterfall or something splashing down on him because Mama Girl was, drenched. Anyway, I don't know if that was coke-induced sweat or whatever, but he said in that interview that he had a 9 to 5. Now I don't know what that 9 to 5 is. I mean, I truly am curious as to know what that. But if
you talking about Charlie? You talking about Charlie?
No, I'm talking about no, I ain't talking about hoes. I ain't talking about him. I'm talking about Akeem.
And the only reason why I said that was because when he did an interview with the World House, look, I don't know if it's the camera or what, but when they did a close up, his face looked horrible. I don't know if it was because it was hot.
His outfits look horrible too, but that ain't the camera.
Well, listen. We already know one reason that could be because Zion gave us saw the video of that. So I
said a drug-induced sweat. I did say that.
Y'all know y'all gonna be hot environments. Do light makeup. You ain't gotta go heavy on the makeup if you know you're gonna be in hot environments.
But then we
he had all of them creases and peaks and valleys in his face, child.
Right. We don't want to see his real epidermis. Maybe you got to fill that in with all that.
We don't want to see his real face. I want to see it.
He can't. On his behalf. Well, no, I'm not even going to speak on his behalf. On behalf of Sherman Williams, I would like to apologize. I would like to apologize for them because they did not make their product to be, to moisten the face or anything. They didn't make the product for the face.
But Williams, well, you talking about the Sherwin Williams that do the
I did, and I
yes, that's
on behalf of Sherwin Williams International.
Not Sherwin Williams.
We apologize. We ain't know he was gonna misuse the product this way. It's not normally used on the skin.
Yeah, but he watched this. Some of the girls didn't even catch that Sherwin Williams is the paint company.
Let me tell you something, Brandon. You probably have to be one of the most quick on your feet, shady, and don't. It is that
I'm here for it. You better bet your bottom dollar, bitch. I'm going to use Sherwin Williams, but I'm not going to use it for makeup.
The thing about it is, y'all, like before, I've been taught how to debate professionally. Like it's a thing. It's a thing. Like even at the dinner table, growing up in my household, we all argue. Like it's all like very much so a thing. We get around, we eat dinner, and we jones on each other. You know what I'm saying? Or we just,
honestly,
that's
I think it's another thing because I'm from Houston, and you had to. We would have capping sessions like when all our cousins come over. Yeah, we would have to roast each other like at the end of the night when all of our grandparents and the grown people went to bed. All of the kids would be together, and we would like cap on each other for practice. That's a Southern thing. Like we would read, honey. So
down because at this point, like we family. So I know you, girl. I know when you peed in the bed 2 weeks ago when you decided to. Yeah, I know. Like bitch.
And I'm gonna read you for it.
Don't do it.
People will be
don't give me leaks. Don't do me. Very
honest, it was the comment Brandon made earlier about Akeem when he said he came off his low horse, not high horse, but low horse.
Wait, who did what?
I hollered.
We gotta call a chimpanzee.
Brandon was talking about.
And I think it's safe to say too, if anybody's going to get in the reality game or entertainment period, you got to have thick skin.
Wait, Scotty, go ahead. I didn't hear what you said, Scotty.
You got to have thick skin.
Well, we know Akeem got thick skin, bitch.
Well,
it has had years of wear and tear. Okay. Okay.
Earlier in the interview,
he does give historian.
Brandon was talking
about bust my camera down, honey.
This shit is thick, Jesus.
Brandon talked
Goodness.
about a king in the
You know
interview,
that skin got to
and
be
he
thick.
said something about, you know, when somebody said he came off his high horse, you know, normally if someone says, you know, talk about a horse, they said a high horse. Brandon said a king came off his low horse. Not high horse, but low horse.
You sat there and had Chateau Akeem with
Is
a
there
crack
anybody
on
is there any
chest.
cast members that you actually do see it for?
He told you.
That's what
I mean, no, as he said, it's like that he still talks to and has a relationship with.
Oh, that I actually
Is
see it. Okay,
anybody-
so definitely Tramel. I really
The fact that
want.
you had to take a breath before you said that, child. That's the read in itself. Mm.
Well, no, the read is just the cast itself. I don't really care for a lot of the people on the cast. So my whole deep exhale was to see through the short laundry list of people that I actually have it for. So definitely Tramel. I feel like he is a really good musician and a very good confidant and a really good friend.
Mm-hmm.
He's extremely sweet and very intuitive, and he's somewhat of a wordsmith. So stay tuned for his reads because they're going to be lethal, I'm sure. I really want Delicious to dig herself out of this whole situation, but I'm just going to be honest. I mean, I can't really say much, but it's just going to continue to get shittier. Like that situation. You'll just me and Redrick started to speak before everything had kind of went down and before I quit the show and everything, but I really do feel as though he is instrumental in a lot of different things as it pertains to being a creative, where he's about his business, he's about getting things done, he's about connecting to people that he needs to connect to in order for things to work out right in his favor. So I feel like he's truly hustling, and I really want him to do great things and be great as well. Ike, who is also a native of Louisiana, like myself, we started off really close, but some friction happened between he and someone else, and he felt like I was a part of that friction, and I guess we stopped talking because of that. But my thing is, if I got to guess why I'm not talking to you, it means that it is what it is. Like, we shouldn't be talking in the first place. Like, I didn't expect us to not be as close enough for you to be like, oh, okay, well, fuck that bitch. Like, I ain't even gonna talk to him, but it is what it is. You know, you live your life. Hey. Other than that,
Did you just?
That's what he did. That's exactly what he did.
Yeah.
So who did you have the friction with?
Huh?
So who did you have the friction with that tilled Ike from the field?
I didn't have friction with anyone that tilled Ike. Ike had friction with Hey Mikey. And it was much more so like a he say she say type of thing, and he thought that I was a part of that situation, and I don't have time for that. Like it's very high schooly. It's very much so less than. I don't have time for that. Unless it's in front of the cameras. I don't have time for it. That shit happened behind the scenes. This shows me your actual character. And if you're gonna go and believe something that somebody done told you about some bullshit that nobody know nothing about, then you, by all means, girl, have at it. However, he has great music, and he's a great vocalist. And I really want him to flourish from this situation, most definitely. Ike.
Is Hey Mikey? Is Hey Mikey a part of the cast, or is he a friend of the cast? Is he sitting off to the side while everybody has their apples out? What's happening? Do we know that? So
initially, everybody was told that they were going to be holding an apple, if you will. And it was basically kind of like survival of the fittest. He wanted to see who was going to be best and who was going to pull forward in front of the pack, as opposed to letting people know you on the B cast. You're not gonna be a part of this. So when you put that out there, and then when you have everybody believing that they're gonna be a star of the show, of course, when you start promoting it, and then you put the people who are gonna be on the moniker, if you will, of the show, of the opening credits, and you don't include the people that you said that you would include, obviously they're gonna be pretty pissed off about it. So that led a lot of people astray as well too. Like they went ahead and they quit because you had promised one thing, and you did something completely different, and it was the way that you went about doing it. It was just extremely shady. So that's that on
that sounds real familiar. Okay.
Oh,
well, okay. So I guess
because you said one thing and then you did something. Okay, you know what? Go ahead.
Yikes. Yikes.
well,
and then you tried to edit it, but
I'm glad somebody listening.
Let's go.
Well,
sorry, Scotty.
I'm guessing we can close it out here at this point because this has been a very entertaining interview.
Baby,
I've had so much fun. This was so fun.
We're
even.
Yeah.
Are you going to continue to watch it now that? Wait. Was the barbecue scene your actual last scene?
No.
So we're gonna see you again.
Yeah, because they're not gonna edit it. No, they're not gonna edit. No. They're gonna edit it out.
Well, you know, they said at this point, this was the time he decided to leave. You can go and support him on OnlyFans. So I feel like they're not gonna show any.
So are you going to continue to watch? Because we would love to have you back for a Kiki about a future.
Of course not. I feel like the rest of the
I'm sorry. We are on the same page.
Like everything else is disingenuous. Like it's not real anymore. You know what I'm saying? And they took out, like they tried to make me a bit. Y'all, I want y'all to understand. I walked in on this show. I was cool with practically everybody. Other people I just didn't know. And all of a sudden I had beef with 5 fucking people on the cast. Our guy, Charlie, Sherrod, Landon.
Our guy needs to have beef with his hairstylist. That's what he need to have beef with.
But I don't know if he has a hairstylist though.
Clumps in his goddamn head.
Who, our guy?
Yes.
I mean, I just feel like he just gave us a real good. It was like a Jerry curled swoop bang. It's kind of like he just went there and had a nice little, you know.
Not the very
But it's the thing is, what I'm realizing is that a lot of the guys on this show, they're paying homage to Mary J. Blige. It's very, let's get it, crunk up on it, round up on it in his dancery. It definitely gives that. Like,
it's very much so. In that regard, watch this, Brandon. In that regard, there'll be no hateration or holleration in the dancery.
And I got you. You know, I feel like the first was King, and now it's our guys. Very much so, like Real House aunts of Atlanta. You know, aunts. Like it gives auntie vibe. Like very much so that.
I'm glad you explained that hair because his hair is a no. It's a no for me, dog. It's a no.
It's a hell no for us, Bobby.
I did live for the hair in this last confessional. I did. The first one I won't hear for.
I didn't pay attention to much of it.
I'm not here for our guy at all. I'm not here for our guy at all.
He's just me. I don't like when people start spitting out their resumes and what they've done and everything, but girl, we on the same platform, so why are you trying to put yourself above? Like, I didn't even do that. You know, I did not come in the situation being like, I've done this, I've been here, I've done this. But my whole thing about him is, I mean, girl, you've been on Earth long enough. Like, I mean, at this point, of course you have a long resume.
You know what's crazy to me? What's really crazy to me is that
you had time. Like
when we were introduced to you in the original trailer from last year, I really looked forward to you being on the show because I was like, damn, G-Status might be going in a different direction because from what I knew about you, you weren't with the drama. You were much like about your business. So I was like, okay, well, maybe things will be different. Then all of a sudden, a year later, after that damn trailer almost, we realized that
that goes to show you.
So it's very disappointing.
Anytime you got to do something
this
for
dropped
a year,
in 2019.
Anytime you got to do something for a year to supplement for a situation that happened where your cast member left, it goes to show you that then you turn around and try to diminish me. It's just crazy.
Why is Scott dying? But no, anytime you bring the likes of a Devon or your what does that say about you, okay? What does that say about your platform? I mean, that's just me. You had Devon on it. What did we say? Wait a minute. What is Scotty going
What took him out?
Scotty is weak over there.
Scotty
is
so weak.
weak.
Because Brandon is speaking us, girl. Brandon is laying them out. Do you hear me? I just can't. Lord
When I tell you, Scotty is over there laid
Dead
out.
out. Yeah.
It is only fair. It is only fucking fair.
I do want to say but I do want to say thank you so much for spending your time here and being open and very open about our questions and giving us real answers and not beating around the bush. I definitely appreciate it, and I see great things for you. You keep doing you and keep hustling, making shit happen, capping, okay? And and anybody who's not with or trying to align themselves with you, because guess what? You are going to be a star, bitch. I see it. Okay.
It's my job.
What I will say is I wanna thank every last
Scotty
one of
over
you
there
guys.
cackling in the corner.
He really is. I just want to thank everyone, specifically Scotty, for reaching out to me initially. But I just appreciate all of you guys for opening the doors of you guys' safe space and letting me spill my tea. And you know, to have you guys accept it for what it is, hot, cold, lukewarm. At the end of the day, I am extremely grateful for platforms like this one who put people in places and in spaces where other people need to see them speak their piece. And I when I made the decision actively not to do my interviews, I was done with that whole situation, and I was done with everything and everyone a part of it. And this was actually like my opportunity to get everything that I had to say out for real and in living color, and to really give the show some time, because listen, I'm not giving my Instagram followers any more of that energy as it pertains to that specific show, because people who follow me do not follow me because of that. They follow me because I'm about my work, I'm about my business, and I'm about the people around me who support me. So I'm just so thankful and grateful for this opportunity.
We appreciate the love so much, but we cannot take the credit. This is all Scotty. Scotty set this up. Scotty got in touch with you. Scotty is the man with the plan. So this is all thanks to Scotty. We will not be here.
Huge thank you to you, Scotty. It's been nothing but gracious and extremely professional.
Scotty by nature TV, honey. And share, bitch. Yes, God.
And Karson said you said that because contrary to popular belief,
well, Brandon, all I'm doing is
we are not horrible people like some of the people like to make us out to be. Like we're horrible people who gang up on people. Everybody who comes on here, we always speak fair.
Well, no, I mean, y'all honest.
Platform.
It's honest. It's real. And at the end of the day, like y'all saw in Living Color, I did nothing. I told y'all what I did wrong, as opposed to you having to go and look at the footage and be like, wait, this bitch really tried it. You know what I'm saying? Like as opposed to it being like some like delusional ass, oh, I'm just not like very much so like diversion from stuff and everything. No, we're gonna answer the questions, we're gonna have a conversation. And I just love this whole format. All of you guys are very, very special, extremely special, and great at what you do. And I'm just extremely appreciative to be in front of all of you guys. So this was a big deal for me, really big.
This is a big deal.
Chronicles, bitch. We was just watching.
And I'm gonna tell you something.
You should
I'm gonna tell you something. God has you at where He wants you. Okay, look, God has you exactly where He wants you. Okay, He has you positioned for you to get to your next, and that's why people are showing their true colors, because they always do that when God starts blessing you. You're gonna start seeing who's really there for you and who's just there to come along for the ride. Right. So always keep that in mind.
Child, as soon as all of that happened, like once all the mess and stuff happened, like the Noah's Ark situation dropped right before the episode dropped, And then the day after that, like all of this madness and stuff was happening. And then I ended up booking a photo shoot, child, that was paying me money. So I was, girl, please. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, it is what it is. It's on to the next. It's on to things to worry about. God has, like you said, has a lot of things for me, and people see that.
Yeah.
People see it. And people have been noticing.
Well, let me say this. Oh shit, I'm sorry, I'm still trying to recover from that cackle that I had on the floor. But I'm glad that you decided to come on, to be honest, because I know earlier today when Terrence and I were, when I creeped in on Terrence's live and he was on live discussing this interview that we're having right now, I said, well, honestly, I didn't even think that he would respond. I really, at random, just decided at work, because I DM'd you at work. I wasn't supposed to have my phone, but I had my phone out at work. And I said, well, let's just DM him and see if he'll respond. On a whim. I didn't think I would respond. But when you responded, I was like, wait a minute, he responded. So when you did, I made sure to tell the rest of them. I made sure to tell the rest of them. And then, you know, they all answered. What happened?
I don't know what is happening.
I don't know what just happened.
No, it was y'all. I got a text. I'm sorry.
Okay.
It was not.
I'm like, wait, how do we get
It
there?
is not y'all at all. Sorry.
Okay. But I didn't think you would respond, but when you did respond, I was grateful for that, and I decided to leave everybody else alone because even though I was the one that asked, I wasn't gonna just do it and then not bring everybody else along for the ride to do it. So I'm thankful that you decided to come on the platform to do it. I didn't expect for my head to be hurting from all that laughing, but you know.
Your Reed coming in, baby. I just say you was on it with the Reeds. You was here with
Did not see any of them coming.
And they were on par.
It was they were. And you know, with us doing this, a lot of the times, just like El Teddy mentioned, a lot of the times the people on these shows, sometimes they act like they don't want to come on the platform simply because of the things that we say in our reviews. And I always say, each time I review a show like this, is that I don't know y'all. I'm just speaking on what I see on camera. So you can't get upset about what I say. But
I mean, why not?
You come on platform.
Yeah, like why not come on and just try to clear your name or try to explain yourself or anything, and to think that you're better than somebody else, like, girl, please. Next, you got 3 followers. What else is going on?
You blocking your own blessing, child.
3 followers and 2 likes and running around here trying to be. Girl, take that crown off.
Well, definitely for me, it's definitely just cool because it's like as big as About Him was, and like I was telling my ex about it at the time to watch it, a whole lot of my other friends to watch it. So, and then by the end of the finale, we did the whole tour, and for us to be on here right now, it's cool. It's cool.
It's great. It's good to see you again.
I mean, who hasn't fucked their brother's friend? I mean,
if Brandon was to hang around at backstage, we have to talk about what happened in Houston.
I was hoping he did hang out backstage. That's how I was trying to
Brandon, as good as this has been, the after party is always so
the after party
much
is even better.
Always better.
Well, I would love to indulge. I would love to indulge, but I have some other shit I have to take care of. It's some.
You sound like somebody at the house.
It's some family stuff that's going on, and I just gotta square it up, take care of it, and everything. Real personal, real cool, but it is what it is. Yeah, but I appreciate you guys so fucking much.
Well, like I said, this was the most entertaining interview I have ever been a part of. I haven't laughed that much on interview in so long.
Yeah. I just appreciate you guys, man. I know, like I said, I'm only here to entertain the people. And to be honest, let's just call a spade a spade, okay? We're gonna call a spade and a moose a moose. So yeah, we're gonna do that. That's what that's gonna be.
Truth and justice. Amen.
Why they gotta be a moose, child?
I don't know, child. You know, some people just born in the forest and look like it.
You have to call them. You have to call them as you see them.
Oh my God. So this was lovely. Scotty, hit the button. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, I'm about to go ahead.
Hit the button, baby.
But thank you, everybody.
Press the damn button. Press the damn button.
Bye, y'all.